must be made. Corrupt halls where shadows scheme, stealing futures, shattering dreams. Bitter moms, their hatred burns. Dads denied as the wheel turns. Dad talk today, hear the father's cries, fighting for their kids, tearing through the lies.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Dad Talk today. I am the pissed off parent, and welcome you here. We just got Eric in. He is excited as can be, and on here and live. We are just we wanted to put a show together for y'all. I know it's last second, but wanted to pull something together for y'all to talk about the verdict. And I will shut up now and bring in the men of the hour. I want to give a big round to the gang there. Great job, guys. It's been a hell of a thing. I mean, you guys have been dealing with this for almost 5 years. And, you know what? For the one person out there that doesn't know what happened today.
Oh, dude. First off, I'd like to say thank you.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's been around the world with me, actually.
Yeah.
And it all started,
Literally.
the only reason we know each other is because of John's case.
Yep.
I found him the day, was it the day John got killed or the next day?
It was the morning of.
It was the morning of.
Yeah, you was reading the comment section.
Yep.
And you said, is there anybody in Lewiston, Idaho that can to help me film something?
Lewiston, Idaho.
And Lewiston, Idaho. Next day, I was filming the family.
I mean, the thing was, dude, is I knew everything. After John was on the show and then I heard he got killed, I knew every second was going to be critical because this story was about to develop. And it did. It hit quick. And I knew those emotions, those actions, everything needed to be captured immediately. And I'm in Georgia. I'm a long way away. Just to give you an idea, I left my hotel at 4:30 in the morning. And did the other day, and I didn't get in here until midnight their time. Midnight their time. That would have been 3 o'clock in the morning my time. That's a long time to travel. Anyway, so he's been my boots on the ground here in town, and how we've been able to cover this thing. But thank you to this guy, and I want to say thank you to Kevin Hickey, Joe Miller. The attorneys in this case were stellar. Known Kevin for years. It was my first time meeting Joe. They knocked it out of the park. I want to say thank you to Judge Monson for allowing us to be in there and to do what we did. Thank you to the Mast family for allowing us to be up here. And I mean, this is a very personal moment for their family. They didn't have to let us come in there and share this with everybody. But I believe what you witnessed today was the most important moment in this movement that we have ever had. And let me tell you something, baby, the movement just began. This is going to be an historic time for the father's rights community, and nobody would be happier with what happened today than John Mast. And I just want to talk to you there in heaven, buddy. I know he's down there right now or up there and watching what's going on. The most important thing today is I can't even count that much money that was won.
Oh, yeah.
I heard million. I think it was close to $5 million. I mean,
it was up there. Right?
It was up there.
Just Becky alone was 1.35. It's 1.35.
Yeah, they won't be supersizing any extra value meals anytime soon, it sounds like.
But, I haven't really had a moment to process this. It was until we just sat down.
Wow, he hasn't processed it, and his phone went dark. Uh-oh. Well, while we experience some technical difficulties, we'll kind of talk a little bit about kind of what happened. It looks like we did lose them. They will hopefully be back in shortly. Until then, I guess I'm in charge. Oh boy. Actually, Christine Ann popped up the number. Hopefully good with the accounting there. 6 point. There was a lot of zeros between friends. I will.
Guys,
It was
please.
something. I'm a nerd. I watched it twice. So we got y'all back there. Sorry, you guys got too excited.
Can you guys? You can hear us again?
Yeah, we can hear
guys,
you.
Please, if you're anybody that's watching, don't call me right now. I mean, they got to know what's going on, and I feel like they do it on purpose, but it messes up the whole feed. I mean, I'm glad you're happy, but I mean, we haven't had any time to process this.
Literally just.
And I thought about this, and I just wanted a moment to sit here and let it sink in because it still don't feel real yet.
It doesn't. No,
we're not used to getting a win in this community.
Right?
This is a win for the entire
not used
community.
to getting a win, we're not used to getting that monumental of a win.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you some insights. I just gotta
get it all.
Yeah. Yes, dude. It's been one heck of a week. I still haven't finished the Mast family. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here.
Yes,
if you guys
Robert
would.
Family.
You see what it says on that shirt right there? We purposely, when we went back in for that verdict, hashtag I stand with John.
Really?
See those down in the comments right now, guys. I love seeing that hashtag. Make it go viral. Put this in your newspaper, okay? This movement right here. This is the moment that I want to see in the newspaper. Man, this has been such a hard-fought fight. Betty and Stephen, thank you guys. Over 5 years, they have had to replay the story over and over and over and over. They sat there and watched their brother get gunned down, Dwayne.
Yeah.
And to sit there and have to relive that trauma over and over, dude. I can tell you this. I have no idea what it's like being the family right now, because I can tell you with the criminal trial, when that verdict got read, I just put my head down, and it was a bigger courtroom that time, so you could kind of just be back there to yourself.
Right.
I was ducked down, and afterwards I came back to the Airbnb and just screamed F, like to the top of my lungs. I had to get it out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it was so hard to hold in. This time, there was so much anticipation because the case could not have been argued better. Like,
those guys were
slam dunk, Kevin.
laser.
And to all the witnesses in it.
But
leading up to this, though, Dwayne, I started having a panic attack. I literally was having a panic attack in the middle of that because
you thought you had in the bag last time. Yeah, it could go either way.
And then once it was read, I was like hyperventilating, dude.
Well, I mean, I felt your emotions. I could it was palpable in there. I could feel you. I was
everybody felt them.
And I turned around and your emotions were.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I want to say thank you. I didn't know Katie, John's sister, had gotten remarried, and her new husband is such an amazing guy. He just reached over there and grabbed me and on my shoulder, and he has no idea that the comfort that gave me at that time, because I was about to lose it. But just something as simple as, and then there was another guy that's followed us in the community, Taylor. Yeah, he came over, did the same thing, and I appreciate it. But dude, just such a historic day for this movement and for John, his family. Glory to God. John's been vindicated.
Yes.
And here's the thing, I saw somebody who was like, I don't understand why somebody would celebrate when the only thing is monetary. If you think this was about money, you're crazy. Even though there was a lot of money that's supposed to be won.
Right.
Does that look like people that are millionaires?
No.
I mean, come on.
No.
Ray Charles, maybe. But
damn. Woo, going there. Okay. Going there already.
Hey, I get to have fun with it now. But anyway, as much as we're celebrating, I want you guys to sit back and think. There's still some kids out there who lost their father. This is. I'm not trying to bring the buzz down, okay? Because it's amazing. We are going to celebrate on this thing. There's 2 kids out there that lost their father.
Right.
As I know, I want to be really careful with this. They are still with their mother. We heard from the investigator in Williston, North Dakota, that investigated all the sexual abuse allegations, knew the case inside and out, and said, those kids are in danger. They do not need to be there.
She literally said that. Yeah.
So think about that, guys. Be careful with your words. And just let's be careful, because it was something we didn't think about until we was on our way over. Yes, it's a great feeling. You want to celebrate. But those kids, the whole reason this happened is because John was fighting for them.
Right.
And they need to be saved.
We know all too well what happens when a parent gets pushed into a corner. What they do. We see it on the news every night.
Dwayne, I don't even want to speak it. I am going to just say that with respect. I think our thoughts and just that speaks enough. You know what I mean? I pray for them. Pray for those children. Now, I can tell you, being with the family, they haven't processed it yet neither.
No,
there wasn't a dry eye there, but I think we were all in the same, like, what just happened?
Yeah, you can't believe it. So I'm sure everybody wants to know. I mean, I saw the video with Robert, and I don't think video could ever come close to being there. What was the feeling from Robert? And for those who don't know, Robert is John's father.
Robert broke down in tears.
Wow.
Robert wasn't behind because he was, plaintiff. So he was sitting there with Stephen and Betty and Kevin and Joe. Kevin started crying. Him and Robert embraced. And then Robert embraced, I think, with Joe, and then Betty and Stephen. I ran up there and I got in line. But Robert was crying. And then by the time me and him finally got to hug, I hope I didn't choke him. I said, John's happy right now. We did it. That's the thing, dude. For so long, he's been painted as that guy. And it is so hard to prove the innocence of someone that's went through the silver bullet. And it's been done. And in a town, I want to really get this out there. And I'm glad I got David beside me, because he knows this local scene. This is where he's from. He knows the media more than anybody. And he does a lot of good for this community. And he gets flack from people too. Don't mess with him. You're messing with me. Let me tell you. But there was one place that got it really good early on, and I haven't talked to him in a while, and it was KLEW. I don't know who's over there now, but in the very beginning, they did really good coverage. And then we did a rally in front of the courthouse, and they came and did like a little segment on parental alienation. And we had people all the way down the streets talking about parental alienation. Beautiful, dude. And they really covered it right. And then I start going into some of these newspapers and stuff in the area. And I was like, what in the world? And like I said, sometimes it's not what you say that does the damage. It's what you don't say that does the damage. Like the other day, I read the article. It talks about Ashlyn Wiesa, who was here in town and was the supervised visitation director. It just said she was one of the witnesses. It didn't have any of the substance in there. That was a powerful witness. She said there was a time prior to John's killing, a good bit before, where Jim drove up there frantic and said, if he gets near the kids or he gets custody of the kids, I'll kill him.
We just talked about his cane. He came in there with his cane and like pushed her on the floor.
I will kill him.
Yeah.
She talked about the 13-hour round trip or 26-hour round trip that John would do from Williston just to see the kids for a couple of hours, and he would get canceled on last minute.
Yep.
She talked about the triggers that was supposed to set the kids off and make them go into the parental alienation and everything that were not triggers. And basically how John was one of the best fathers that she had ever seen, one of the most innocent that had ever been accused. And it was just a very powerful thing. None of that was in the statement about him. Then it goes to the investigator in Williston, North Dakota. And guys, if you did not listen to her testimony, wow.
Powerful.
She provided a lot of peace and solace in the last case when she sent the letter to the family talking about how she investigated John's sexual allegations. That's it.
That's the letter.
And said that,
I got you.
yeah, said that there was no evidence or nothing that showed that John was guilty of the things he was accused of, and that he had been cleared innocent from all charges. She thoroughly investigated it. And she even said on the stand, those kids are in trouble. They do not need to be where they are. And that was a beautiful family. And I mean, she just couldn't have spoke better about John. And there was like a little bit in that about her. But just go read it for yourself, because what I saw in the courtroom versus what was on the media, it really broke my heart. And so when the verdict got read, I'm not the best at holding my emotions at bay sometimes. I try, I really do. And I said it way too loud, and I apologize to the Mast family or anybody, but I said, put that in your newspaper. Way louder. I was like, put that in your newspaper.
And the Tribune guy, I'm sure, heard that for sure.
Well, and I never said what place.
Yeah. Well, there's only one newspaper. We all know what it is.
So then afterwards, he was out in the hallway, and I guess there was a family member he was supposed to talk to. David was standing right there beside me too, and he's like, well, Eric from Dad Talk's the one you need to talk to. I was like, you don't want to talk to me.
Not after that comment you left. Hey, that comment you left was great. I mean, you got a lot of response.
Everybody was in support of us in that comment, because that was my thing, dude. I came all the way from Columbus, Georgia to Lewiston, Idaho. I would have no other reason to be here besides this case. And I've done it numerous times. This is a big story in this area. Pretty big story, wouldn't you think?
I would say.
You mentioned the shooting at Rosars. Everybody knows what you're talking about, even though it's 5 years old.
Right.
I come from out of town, and in my time, I've done the investigation, and then I streamed the whole trial, not just the parts that I wanted to. Hell, that last trial, I filmed the whole thing, and I'm going to tell you, what we went through was painful. It was very, very painful. But I can come in and do a more thorough thing than you can, and you're in town where you have access and can go testify with people. There was a setup where a father had been accused, and it's more popular a narrative that grandfather is the hero that took the abuser out.
Right.
And to make it even bigger, he was a veteran, and he's an old man. It was easy to get sympathy for him.
Right.
Dad takes, retired veteran does this. And so, dude, like, no disrespect. When we got here, this guy knows all the eating places. He knows a lot of people. He's like, hey, man, I want to take you somewhere that's good to eat.
Yeah.
We get there, the lady he knows, sweet lady, good food. When we mentioned, she asked what we were doing, we told her, and she was like, yeah, she was like, that case right there. She was like,
That's a tough one.
She was like, that's one of those things, like, you don't kill anybody, but I wouldn't have wanted to be on that jury, basically, like, having sympathy, because she didn't know the details.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there, like, it's just eating at me, dude.
Oh, I jumped in. I said,
yeah,
we got a documentary,
but
that's
the general consensus for people that haven't been gave the information. They see the headline, and then they don't do it. All right, Mr. Kevin, let me put that on there. He deserves this. John vindicated and his name cleared. Absolutely.
Yep.
But, sorry, let me get that off. That was like the general comments. And anywhere I went and people asked me here what I'm doing, I would say it. It was pretty much the same thing. Dad had been painted as a hero by the media. Granddad. Yeah. And so I had to one by one. And then once they get the full story, they're like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, I know you didn't know that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All that came from the media. I mean, last
time
it
was all media.
All those news pages on Facebook, we had to have them redact some stuff, remember?
Well,
it was too late.
It was me and him that did it. That letter. So, like, they had, again, it's not always what you say, it's what you don't say. They would talk about that John went through allegations, but they wouldn't say he cleared his name. And so I saw that all week. Emotions were at an all-time high, and then the night before the verdict came in, he got me on the phone with the manager, and I told him the whole story.
Wow.
He was basically like, "Well, what do you want me to do with it?" And I was like, "Put out the truth.
What do you want me to do?
Put out the truth." He cleared his name, and then we sent him that letter from the lady in North Dakota. And to his credit, he did a retraction article. He put out that letter.
Where
the damage was done, dude.
Yeah. Right? Yeah,
the damage was done.
And a lot of those pages will copy and paste each other's stuff. So once one does it, then they all follow suit.
Yeah, definitely. To kind of change gears a little bit here, see if I can get this up correctly. There's another news article that Eric actually reported on recently. Something new here. See if I can get that up there. So, what is the story on this? I hear
one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had.
That's a Smash House burger, man.
Smash House burger.
Yeah.
So what was interesting is they have Indian fry bread as the bun, and when he said that, I was really skeptical because I Native American fry bread is really good, but it's very heavy and greasy. So when he said that, and you're already eating a cheeseburger, I was like, dude, I'm in court. I don't want the gas and everything else sitting on me. And so I was very, but I like trying new things, dude. It was soft, fluffy. It was amazing. Yeah. That guy.
Well, his name's Richard. He's amazing.
I went and bragged on it, and then for the next 5 minutes, he told me about the process and the science behind making a smash burger. That's when you know you're talking to a guy that knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah, he actually the first Outback Steakhouse that ever opened, he ran it.
Oh, okay.
Very first one. So he knows what he's doing for sure.
So I want to get back. I want to get back to John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
This is his day, man. This is his day. And guys, if you got some questions about the case while it's processing, because if not, I'll just keep rambling. Put them down in the comments, and I will do my best. Kevin told me when I was leaving, he would be more than glad to come on here and talk. And then I've got something even more exciting for you guys that we didn't get last time. Mm-hmm. We thanked every single one of the jurors. Every single one of them talked to the family and hugged them.
Really?
On the way, absolutely. And then, and I got some details on that. But 2 of the jurors, I got their names, I got their cell phone numbers, and they're going to come on the show.
Wow. Okay.
So you'll get to find out what went on in the jury. And here's the thing, dude. So we were called. I think we would have got the verdict much, much, much sooner. But when I was on that live earlier, Kevin had texted me and said, "Hey, we got to go to the courthouse because they got a question." It was like a question. And the question ended up being they wanted to know if they could put a statement with the verdict.
Ooh.
And you know what that was? You're going to hear breaking news. Hopefully I'm okay with saying this because I'm not going to go too far into it. And I'm going to say this and then we're going to get off of it. Afterwards, we got to talk to them. And the big thing was it wasn't so much a statement. Their thing was they wanted to know about the kids and if they're going to be okay.
Well, that's been, and for the folks out there, you guys I'm trying to get the question or the comments up there as quickly as possible. You guys are like just commenting like crazy, which is awesome. And there are some questions. I would keep them coming in.
Bring them on. Just if you got any questions that end up being repeated,
Okay. This is one. Why isn't CPS taking the children from Rebecca knowing what they know?
Because they're a scam organization.
Did you say
that? When you go through the system and the system is painting the grandfather out to be a hero and the mom hasn't faced any charges and going on in almost 5 years.
Right.
What was CPS supposed to step in on? The system, it got it very wrong.
Got this one.
And I think history is going to show.
Definitely. And then we got another one here from Jules here. Oh, sorry, not the man. I hope so. The questions are popping in quickly here. So, Antonio, will Rebecca do any time? I can answer that, but give you guys the floor.
So, no, this was, if anybody, I've told this a few times, I'll tell it again. The best way to compare this would be the O.J. Simpson trial. O.J., who everybody knows was guilty as sin in killing Nicole, and the only ones that say he was innocent is they try to play the race Ron, Nicole, and OJ's blood inside of his house, on his shoes, in his Broncos, you name it. But OJ was found not guilty in the criminal trial. And then they went to the civil trial, which was a wrongful death like today. He was found guilty, and it was a money thing. So unfortunately today was a civil thing, but we will have to see what comes in the future, and that's as far as I'll comment on that.
So this has been asked a few different ways, but basically what will happen to the kids? For those that know, they have not seen. Okay, no comment. All right, comment. We'll leave it there.
Hold up. I get to pull a Jim. I plead the fifth.
That was the phrase of the page. We'll burn there, yeah.
I plead the fifth, sir.
And yeah, keep these I Stand with Johns coming in. I mean, they're blowing up. Love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Jules asked, maybe now they can charge her with conspiracy. More of a question, more of a statement. I'm a chess player. From my vantage point, I see what's going on. I'm we'll see what happens.
Again, guys, we just came off of an unprecedented case. There's 2 kids out there without their father. The grandfather's in prison, and their mom just won a very big judgment. So I want to be very careful.
We got a member of the family out there in the comment land. Let's see. Kevin actually offers we're all processing the credible result and our options for going forward. There are lots of moving parts, and got to make sure what we're doing and when.
There you go. That's it. I mean, let me tell you something about the Mast family. I'm glad I'm not the one calling the shots, because they're cool, calm, collective. I guarantee you right now, you're probably getting back to. Well, I know they're heading back home.
Right.
They've got to let this sink in. This was a long time coming. Everything you're thinking about has been thought about, being weighed in on, but it's not something that just happens.
Right.
And you don't just say, "Oh, we're going to do this." It's if we do this, that's where we're going to stay. Kevin said it best.
Yeah. While we're waiting for more questions coming in, I wanted to pop this up real quick. Now, this was a slightly different picture of Eric and Robert than the one that was offered a few years ago. That's all muscle, by the way. That's all muscle.
What's that?
That's all muscle, right? there we go. Well, you had posted
the Hulk Hogan. Let me tell you something, brother.
From a couple of years ago, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, you look so young and skinny and stuff." And then you did this updated picture. But so at that moment, that was right after the verdict was read, and you guys had a chance.
Yes.
What's that picture? What's going through you guys' heads?
This is the 4th or 5th time I hugged Robert in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. He's like right here.
You guys had a bromance going.
I thought about it as it was happening, and David was standing in front of me. I was like, "David, capture it," because you don't get that moment again. I was like, "This is after the verdict." I've taken a picture with Robert at the grave of John in many different places, and it was always us pursuing justice. And I finally got the picture where justice was served.
Yeah.
Definitely. It was great, man. It's great.
We got one from Holly. You want to give a shout out to the better half there?
Oh, man. I mean, his wife too, your wife. I mean, anytime an advocate takes away time from his family to fight for dads, it's a sacrifice, dude, because it's just time that we're never going to get back. I will tell you what, right as that verdict was read, I was getting a text from my wife, and she was excited as I was because she knew what it meant to me.
Yeah.
She knew what it meant to everyone. And so she's celebrating with me. I'll be getting home tomorrow. She's picking me up, and it'll be a great moment. And for once, I might not need as much rest as I normally do, like when I got home last time because of what happened. I didn't even want to wake up. I just didn't even want to get out of bed. I'll be ready to go this time. We got some work to do. Now is the time I needed to do the documentary. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Now is the time that we need to get the full thing, because John's story is so complex. And it needs to be condensed down so that bam, 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 bam. again, I'm not just saying this because I was involved or whatever. This case is monumental, guys. This
People
case,
realize how big it is.
to me, John just created the movement. People talk about movement all the time.
Yeah.
We don't get much damn movement.
Right.
Today there was movement. Today there was movement, and not just in words. This could be the movement you just all birthed. And this crazy thing is,
looks like someone's calling in. While Eric and David are trying to get relogged back in for someone calling them. The whole this is. I wish people in the movement could understand how big this is. We've got, and I say we, Eric and team, got unprecedented access into that courtroom. Do you know how blankety blank hard it is to get access into a courtroom? It's damn near impossible to do that. And these guys were able to do it and put out there for the entire world to see this case with all the different pieces. And now it's going to be case law to where other attorneys and other people can reference. This is so, I mean, if you're thinking this is a great win and great job, Mast family and all that stuff, that's scraping the surface of how big this is for the movement. And it looks like we got David and Eric back.
like people, yeah, I saw it. Somebody called again, guys. Please stop calling me. I'm on a live video.
Please stop calling.
Anyway, I mean, the sad thing is, I think it's people that know I'm on.
Let me call you right now. And I love when people do that.
Right now.
Are you doing a live right now? Yeah, I'm on live right now. Anyway,
dude,
sorry.
And like, God bless him. I get it. I'll call you when I get a chance. But that was in the middle of the most important thing I was trying to say. I believe John just created the movement.
Yeah.
This is the movement I've been trying to create for a long time. No, it's John created the movement. And if we take his story and what he went through and we put it out in a way where people can understand it, we make the TikToks, we make the media off of this, you got everything you need to bust the doors of reform wide open. Because here's the thing, everything happens for a reason. Now that it came back the way that it did today, guys, I want you to go back. A couple of years ago, it really sucked to be here in this town and be in this Airbnb. Right. It's good for everybody to celebrate right now. But if you would have had to be in our shoes leaving that courthouse last time, you have no idea the emotions and feelings. A lot of my gray hairs probably came from that. The reason you haven't seen me much in the last 2 years was me reeling from that loss. Okay. Yeah. But now, because of this huge win, we go back to a couple of years ago. And there was a woman that's been free for 5 years, still got the kids. And the guy that was going to plead guilty to second-degree murder, that was supposed to get first-degree murder, if it was premeditated, we had a video of him saying it's premeditated, because the jury sympathized, probably had a lot to do with the local media.
Yep.
He got manslaughter in only 15 years. This shows you how wrong our system gets it. And people can say, well, the case wasn't argued right. They should have done something different with the jury. Whatever. That still proves my point. The system got it wrong.
Right.
That's not the way that justice goes. It shouldn't be about who argued it the best that day. It should be about justice prevailing. Mm-hmm. And if John would not have had to go through this BS in the first place, dude, there would have been rights for him as a father to where he didn't have to keep going through these hoops, And
the punitive part, that's huge.
Oh, yeah.
The punishment punitive part is huge. That set a huge precedence, and the jury really made a statement with that for sure.
Yeah, we've got a lot of questions in this area, asking kind of the same questions: how easy it's going to be for the Bashirs to dissolve this into debt and bankruptcy.
Keep off of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's well, they just keep getting called. People aren't listening to the "don't call me" thing. But yeah, just kind of piggybacking off of what Eric and David were talking about. This is very huge for the movement. With the case law that's come out of this is going to be used in cases across the country. There's so many things that
I'm gonna hop back in there. Where was I at?
Well, we were talking about the bankruptcy piece, and you kind of want to get that off, but
let's stay off of that right now.
Yeah.
I will say this again. This was never about money. It was about proving John's innocence.
That's why the punitive part's good.
That's why it's good. But as far as that, I mean, I'll let them figure it out. They got a great judgment. So there we go.
So we got here a question from Anthony Perez. Question: are we not afraid of what she might do to harm those children after the verdict? We kind of touched on it. It's probably something we don't want to talk about too much.
Yeah,
we're hoping.
Get it down.
Yeah, just not bring that up. We're hoping nothing happens. Well, actually, Roger Tolbert's asked, "Hey, Eric, are you going to do a second film?" Actually,
I already did a second film.
Yeah, it'd be a third.
This would be the third. I mean, I'm more motivated to do one now. If I would have had to do another one talking about how bad it got, absolutely not. But I think so. So, and this is another reason I want people to understand, I mean, just how good the attorneys did. And obviously Kevin's been a part of it since before John got killed. So he was there through it. But for Joe to jump in and get a hold of the details as good as he did, this case is a mountain of information. It was a mountain of different events that happened. Just keeping the timeline together, or one of the problems I had in the beginning, just learning all of the Mast family's names because there's so many of them. you have to have a really good memory. Dude.
Oh yeah.
And it is quite complex. So I think being able to get another film that puts the pieces of the puzzle together, there's going to be so much information that's going to have to be left out, but you got to be able to tell the story in a way that's easy to consume, shows the corruption, shows the justice that was had here. Yes, I would love to do a film, but even that, it's not something that would be out next month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, David and I are going. Yeah. It's gonna take a while. It's going
to be a lot of work.
A lot of work involved. While we're waiting for more questions coming in, was it a true, and be honest now, was it a true technical issues when they kept replaying it was premeditated up on the screen? I did laugh a little bit when I saw that.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi in there was, it's a new courthouse, so they don't have all the Wi-Fi extenders in there. So the closer you got to the courtroom doors, the better your Wi-Fi was. Okay. So right where we in the middle there, they had no Wi-Fi. But then they brought out this magic Ethernet cord, and they're like, "Here, plug this in." Not for us, but for the attorneys. And yeah.
Well, dude, you look. I'm gonna give ourselves some dap.
Yeah.
The live feed, y'all have no idea what we went through keeping that video rolling. And then this morning when we got there, StreamYard would not do our sound at all. So last minute, we found up a get up to put a microphone on a cell phone, had to put it outside of the courtroom to pick up the sound inside the courtroom. We figured it out, baby.
Yep.
We made it happen. I would love to be more prepared each time. We will get better at it. I think this needs to become a common thing in these, like we got the Daigle case coming. We need to have cameras blazing in those courtrooms. They make a difference, man. They make such a difference, but what we need the movement to get behind us. People, you want to do a film, or do you want to go cover other cases and stuff? Yes to all of the above, if we can have the funds to do it.
Right. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to find stuff. Yeah, and I mean, for the community out there, I mean, in order for Eric and David and other people to get out there and do this, it does require funds. There's just no getting around it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we won't, unless you want to get into the numbers. It was
no, but I can just tell you, nothing hurts my heart more, because like next week, the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to work on stuff outside of Dad Talk, because I have to make a living, and I can go do something with nowhere near the meaning of what we're doing today. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, way more successful, easier to do, nowhere near the effort.
Right.
And people help and people contribute. And when it comes to this movement, dude, it's very hard to get the support. And the support that we've got, I appreciate it. But I really want to be here.
Right.
But if I go somewhere else, it's just I got to do what I got to do, because not only do we need the resources to pull off a film or go put cameras in the courtroom, I got to eat. My family's got to eat. You know, and that is expensive. One trip like this alone, my travel plans, guys, I had to rebook tickets 3 times. And each time it's more money. I had to get a complete new ticket from where they stranded me in Denver. I didn't get a refund from that. And I am highly ticked off. And Frontier Airlines, guys, y'all want to do me a favor? Go tell Frontier Airlines that they suck, and Eric Carroll sent you there. Okay? Because they were going to strand me in a state I almost did not make it. They were going to strand me in Denver for 2 days. And so luckily there were people out in the community that contributed last minute and helped us. And guys, still, I'll tell you, if you're on this feed, you appreciated what happened today and you would like to support our efforts. I don't do it often, but we need it. Cash App, Venmo, Dad Talk Today, no spaces, PayPal, Local Productions with an S at yahoo.com. That's just the thing. If I had the resources, Dwayne, have you ever seen, this is going to sound braggadocious, but I'm going to put it out there and be honest. Have you ever seen a guy with a contact list like me?
No, I mean, you know, I'll ask him something. He's like, hold on a second.
Have you?
No.
And like 20 hours later.
Have you met a lot of people?
I've met. Oh, yeah.
When we were in London, did you see people coming up, shaking my hand, wanting to take
Dr.
pictures?
Oz, Jordan Peterson. I mean,
Dude, they have no idea what I can do, but I don't have the resources to do it.
Right.
With. And so when the lack of things being accomplished isn't the ability to do it, it's that.
Yeah,
so,
at the end of the day.
And, you know, I started telling myself every time I get involved in the movement, my whole life starts getting put on the back burner. With bills and stuff I can't do that anymore. I love my wife. I love my kids. I want to be able to provide for them too. So anyway, we'll get off that.
Well, again, and there's ways, I mean, obviously contributing through the normal Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, but there's also Watch It. YouTube has actually changed it around again to where you have to watch and hit the like button.
So right now, our YouTube makes no money on monetization because right now the ads are disabled and everything. So like all that views and all that, we're not making any money.
You're not even making money off YouTube.
Nothing. Wow. It's not monetized right now at all. So if we make money, it's because you guys are donating it. That's the only monetization coming in right now.
Wow. Okay.
And that's the God's honest truth. I show it to you. Yeah. It had something. There was one of my podcasts where I did like a reaction video to like it might have been Joe Rogan podcast or something like that, and it got hit for reused content.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a reaction and then the monetization gets turned off, similar to like Facebook with community guidelines, and they can get you for any godforsaken.
I had the same thing happen. They said I wasn't using original content.
Yeah.
So I had to make an appeal video. I had to appeal to YouTube, and it was a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I don't have time to do that right now. And I'm not making I'm not getting enough views to make it anyway. So we're not making money on it. What we make is what you guys do.
Yeah. Or Monster, or even like your Airbnb was donated to you. Stuff like that.
Yeah, he was in this. I made him a little thing. He doesn't know it, but I put you a little note right here and signed it. And this was before the verdict was read, so I might just put like a "we did it" on there. Who knows? Maybe it'll be something special for you one day. But yeah, man, this Airbnb means so much more to me after finding out the story. This father has this Airbnb. It's actually his home 2 weeks out of the month. He has 2 kids. They live 1,500 miles apart, but to be in their lives equally, he lives in California for 2 weeks and then drives 1,500 miles here to see his other kid, and then lives in this Airbnb for 2 weeks. And when he's not here, he rents out the Airbnb to help him be able to pay for it. And here's a week that he lost in income for us to be here, and just offered it right away, man. So I just saw a Cash App come through. Toto Mast. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
and that just reminded me of John, the traveling time.
Oh God, dude.
Can you imagine that? 13 to 15 hours one way to see your kids for an hour or two.
I get turned down.
I don't know if I could have done it. I would have. I mean, after a work week, like a long work week, and I want to say when John was up there, he was in the oil field. That's not easy work, bro.
Yeah,
that's not easy work. There was no time for downtime. And then when he was here in Lewiston, I know before he died, I think John was working like 3 jobs, dude. I told you, like, not to get into grim details, but when I saw him in the casket, dude, one of the images that still sticks with me to this day was his thumbnails. In his hands, you could see it was worker hands, like where he had worked himself to the bone, and it was black and everything. Where even after they had cleaned him and got him ready, you could see his hands. They were just hands, hard-working hands. Right. I think in his off time, he worked at a ammo factory here in Lewiston.
Oh, yeah. We have an ammo factory here.
Okay, well, that's where he was working there. Then he was doing Uber, and then there was something else, man. So, no, it's just at Dad Talk Today. Dad Talk Today.
No, it's Dad Talk Today. Okay,
and I think my picture will pop up. So
I think it's
beautiful.
Which one was that one?
His beautiful face is tired. It was one of those, like I said, the movement doesn't get wins often. So even though there's a lot of scrambled going on right now, you guys deserve this moment too. You know, you deserve this moment too. So we're here to celebrate it with you. So I tell you what, Dwayne, me, David, we've done enough like conversing and stuff. Just give me the people. I want to hear from the people.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let's see. Well,
you can read their statements too, man. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about, Robbie here. Paul Miller manslaughter should have been first degree for premeditation, bring a weapon, child pickup drop off. Do you know what the sentence was?
Dude. So Jim was going to plead guilty to second degree murder. Oh, Brad. Thank you, Brad Johnson. I see that it came in. Thank you. Oh. He was going to plead guilty to second degree murder. But if he would have got second degree murder, he would be able to have visitation with his family.
Right.
And as forgiving as the Mast are, they even sat across from him, not even 10 feet away from him the other day, and said they forgave him and was worried about his soul. I couldn't have done that. But they said, you took our family from us and you want to be able to see your family. That's not right. That was first degree murder. It was premeditated. It was planned. Suzanne, thank you. Suzanne Anthony, thank you. Saw that coming through. But it was premeditated murder. We definitely saw that. And then he admitted that. And he said it was premeditated. I planned it. And so it was supposed to be between first and second. We had no feeling that it was going to be manslaughter. So just to tell you the difference in the jury, dude, and David to tell you this, when the jury left the last time, they wouldn't even look at us. Donna, I saw that come through. Donna Jones, thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
When the jury came through, I think Robert Garza was with us that day. He was like, hey, would you like to talk to us? And no, they were giving him like the eat shit and die look, dude. And he did it like 3 times. And he was going to ask, I said, Robert, stop it. I was just like, stop. I was over it, dude. Like, I don't want to talk to any of them anyway. Mm-hmm. I will say this. I think it's okay to say this now. David did know one of the jurors, and you got to talk to him.
Yeah, personally, I knew him personally.
And you can talk about what you know.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him personally. I reached out to him. I just said, hey, off the record, I just want to pick your brain. I'm really invested in this, and didn't want to contact me. Sent a friend of a friend that said, hey, I want to talk to so-and-so. Can you get a hold of him? So finally, he did reach out to me, and I just said, hey, and I showed him all the information. I said, watch this documentary and everything else. So, yeah, it was, he said he was intrigued with the case, even though he knew about it. And I'm like, right there and then, I was like, this jury was tainted. And, yeah, it's hard in a small town to not know.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, dude. But, I mean, I'm not going to say in their defense. I guess it is somewhat a defense. They heard there was, I think it was similar. There's a lot of cases where something's going on, but you're not getting the full information. Mm-hmm. So you're skeptical that the information you're not getting is something important. And in that case, there was a seed of doubt planted early on. Jim got up there, said the things that he did. Eric, you're a legend. Thank you, dude. Man, there was a whole team behind this. Kevin and Joe, I'm going to let them take this win. We were here to document it. But, you know, they did a great job. I just, you know, just trying to be humble in it, man. It was a team effort, guys. The Mast family was proactive and just as involved. This guy, there was a lot of us that was in there with this. But, dude, give me a second. Dwayne, I'm going to have to put it on low battery mode.
Uh-oh.
Unless David can come in by his phone. No, if I do, it'll cut off the volume. But what did they ask again?
Geez, I know we've got so many coming in here.
Yeah, dude.
I got more questions coming in. I don't know if you just wanted.
Oh yeah, dude. We're here with you. We're here with you.
Gabriel Franklin, what was the big judgment on the mom's part you were speaking on?
So yeah, you can go ahead and take it off. So David's gonna hook up his phone, and then I'm gonna take off mine.
Okay. All right. Well,
are you in the same one? No. That's the one that ended.
Okay. Yeah, we want to do the John Mast call after verdict
the one
update.
That's live, right? We'll be right back, guys.
All right, and keep your questions coming in.
Yeah,
we'll try to get those listed up here, and then Chris. Okay, he's not on, so he can't get mad at me for putting this up there. My wife and I thought the same thing. We started laughing. Yeah, okay, I'm going to throw some shade there. That was a good one. Okay. All right. There's some comments coming through. I'm like, wow, these people are like reading my diary. Some of the funny comments that are coming through. Yeah, and hopefully David and Eric don't watch the feed from 2 minutes ago.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes, a little loud.
I can't hear him. Is your volume all the way up?
Little loud.
Maybe. There we go.
Yeah, a little loud. For everybody, we're kind of working through the technical issues here. We've got very booming voices. But while they're kind of adjusting and hearing us and all that, we kind of talk a little bit.
Let me pull this out if you want to just
yeah.
Oh, for the folks, okay, so Tony Patel's asking, please tell the viewers who have not seen the story where and how they can watch your documentary on this on YouTube. It was great to see and learn the story. While I'm talking, I'm going to see if I can find, I do have actually pulled up the John Mast trial and the previous days here. But let's see if I can get that pulled up and pulled in. John Mast trial, and I can get. And there's it was a few days worth. Let me just copy that over, and I'm gonna put that in a link. So you might again, Eric has made this available for free.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you can just take that.
Is out there for free. I believe it's in 3 parts for you to watch, and you can.
You hear us better now?
Yeah, it's a little loud, just a smidge.
All right, we can turn it down a little bit.
Booming, manly voices there. But again, for Tony and others that is out there, I put the link in the out there in the feed. Go out there, Eric.
So really quick,
yeah.
John Mast was a father that was going through family court like a lot of us. He was going to get custody of the kids. He started getting hit with sexual abuse allegations. He went through 3 years of clearing his name, doing everything that you possibly could to prove your innocence, which is really hard to do when you get accused of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He did prove his innocence. He did a lie detector test, psychosexual assessment test. If you go and listen to the investigators this past week that testified, they said he was the most innocent pretty much they had ever seen. And he actively told them, give it to me, whatever you can to prove my innocence. Give it to me. They had never seen a dad as proactive as John. And then when he won his kids, when he showed up to the parking lot, mom's car comes pulling up that he always sees at the exchanges. That car, I mean, like I said, that's the one he sees. So he turns around and he's getting his car seat ready. As Joe Miller did a good job saying, he had the kids' safety as his main concern. He was ready to get his kids. When he turns around, it wasn't the mom, it was the ex-father-in-law that popped him shot him. And then when John went to run away, he shot him 3 more times in the back like a coward. I love that Joe said that today, like a coward. Yeah, the local media tried to say, the veteran grandpa. And if you look at the smirks and all the things that was done in that last trial, the local media, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. One thing I will say to them is there's always a time to do better. If I could get anything, yes, it was good to put that in your newspapers. There's anything, if you end up seeing this in this coverage, I would tell you the things that you do and that you put in that paper, the information you get out there to people have real life consequences. Yeah. Okay. There was a family that lost their son, that lost their brother. There were kids that lost their dad, and they read that. They see that. They feel that. To you, it's just an article or a political view that you want to get out. To them, it's real life. And you could have asked them for an interview or their thoughts on it. They would have gave it to you. You could have asked them for information. Well, he was accused of sexual abuse. Did he do it? Was it investigated? That is a very big accusation that has very big consequences with it. You could have done the steps or took the steps to get the real story out there, but you just didn't do it. And that has really big consequences. Because of that, a guy that said it was premeditated, planned it, got a lesser sentence, and those kids are still out there with the person that came back guilty on all charges today. Mm-hmm. And that could, I'm not saying the media is guilty for that happening, but I think you had a lot to do with it. Yeah, I really do.
There's culpability there. Tori Hernandez. Tori Hernandez is asking, I'm not sure if anyone's tracking, but there's a huge documentary going on about Idaho judges and the corruption there in the family court. It'd be great for someone to tell John's story.
David, I will. Well, so let me talk about that real quick. There was a comment that was made. I think it might have been yesterday. Somebody was saying, I hope Dateline or Netflix or somebody like that gets a hold of it. Look, man, I would love that. But I also would be concerned about that, because to Dr. Phil or Dateline or Netflix or any of these places, that's just a story. That's just an episode. And then tomorrow they're trying to find the next sensational story to keep their ratings up on the top. For me, it's real life. I wore that. There's many gray hairs on this head because I wanted to see justice for John. And at the end of the day, I want this podcast to be over with. I want to see dads get equal rights. I want to see them stop dying. I want to see kids stop dying. I want to see kids have their daddies, and I want to see this thing cleaned up. And in order to do that, you're going to have media that is going to have the dad's best interest at the top every time they do something, not just somebody that wants a one-time clickbait festival. This is a real movement here, and we need to create our own media so that we can hold our legislators, we can hold our family courts, we can hold our judges, the attorneys, everyone accountable. And I would say if any of them want to do a story, it needed to be in conjunction with Dad Talk, because it needs to be told the right way. And if any of them got interest in doing something like that, I would gladly let you use my footage and stuff. But we want to make sure you tell the story the right way, and we have a cause to keep in mind here. But this story absolutely has all the twists and turns that traditional media would want.
Yeah, and when you were mentioning that, I'm thinking of one person's name, a guy that has been put through the ringer, I would say face of the movement level stuff that you have been with, worked with, he's been on national TV, international TV, all kinds of stuff. But to them, it was just a story. You, it's personal. I think we both know who I'm talking about. Oh, wow.
Whoa, Jeff Younger.
Okay, I'm going, whoa, wait a second.
Oh, yeah, no, Jeff would be okay. There's a reason. I mean, Jeff will go on Tucker Carlson one night, and the next night he'll be on this podcast. He'll go from getting 3-4 million viewers to come in here getting 50 and 100, but he comes back to Dad Talk because he knows we were the ones that was there from the beginning. We're the ones at the Capitol when the real meat and potatoes happened. Yeah. And he would tell you the same thing. We need our own media. I even heard him on one of those big shows say, like, they asked, like, who has been there for you? He's like, well, Dad Talk today is about the only one that I would suggest right now. I literally heard him say that on a show one day, and I was like, dude, He remembers who did it for him. And it's not because I'm getting him a ton of views. He knows who he can count on. And we know there's a bigger plan afoot here. It's bigger than any of us. It's not about any one person or anything. It's about getting this thing across the finish line. I could quit this right now and go do media on other stuff. And I have a lot of opportunities to do it.
Literally.
Make a lot of money with a lot less stress, a lot less gray hair. I can't walk away from this, Dwayne. I cannot do it. This guy right here can tell you what we went through in England alone. It was a nightmare. I took about a $10,000 loss in England. Yeah. I've never talked about this live, but he'll tell you about it. It was one of the biggest moments of my career. I got some of the biggest footage. I interviewed Jordan Peterson, had Dr. Oz, Dennis Prager. Later on that night, we find out all of our footage got messed up.
Yeah.
And I can data it and prove it to you. We caught it on a cell phone, but that trip alone, taking 2 advocates over there, the plane flights, the Airbnb, the meals, having to buy the equipment, that one trip, dude. And we lost it. And for a little guy like us, a podcast, it was big for us to be going international anyway. That can completely shut you down.
Oh, yeah.
That's how big of a hit that takes. And mistakes are going to happen. I mean, problems are going to happen. And I would love to see us in the place where we could do what's needed and be comfortable. And we are so far away from that, guys. It's not even funny. But, that's why I said what I said earlier. The truth is, I have contacts out the wazoo, man. I can get to just about, and if I don't have a contact to a person, I think you guys have seen me enough over the years to know I'll find a way to get in contact with that person. But I need the resources to get out there and pursue it.
Yeah. I mean,
I won't be going to 43 states in a year again anytime soon. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I'm playing a quick video, which has just some of the people that you've met with, talked to, interviewed, and all that. I mean, you've talked to so many people. Hell, you've met our president twice. Your Rolodex is filled up. Of course, I also had a little bit of video of you acting like a goofball with your wife, but but yeah, you have.
Thank you, Mike Simmons. That just came through. Thank you. I need people to understand. This is not to brag, because it's not a bragging moment. Right. If anything, it's embarrassing to know that this is the reality of it. I don't ever want to come off as something I'm not. And yeah, I got to the president twice. What people don't see, there was 100 trips leading up to that to make it possible.
Right.
I busted my rear end to find a way to get through that door, because I thought maybe if I can get to him and get a conversation, we can get something going. And I never got to have the conversation that I wanted, but I got to him twice. I did get invited, and I gave a speech, a Dad Talk Today speech about fatherlessness and parental alienation at his golf club in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's pretty dang big. I will say, during that time traveling the country, Dwayne, and interviewing the legislators and stuff, I learned if I took my attention and put it somewhere else, I could be so much more effective. Because going to the legislation feels like going to the cartel and telling them to stop selling drugs. It's not going to happen. Not only that, in 2022, 43 states. In 2024, we have a brand new legislation. So by the time you build up your Rolodex, every 2 years, we're going through elections, and then you got to go do it again. So by the time you're able to create a meaningful relationship with someone, and then you got to have a majority to get laws passed, it's just this vicious cycle of life. It's like you never stop chasing. You never stop chasing. Hey, man, we got in touch with this person, They're going to do this. And then by the time you finally think you're going to get something done with them, there's somebody else in office.
Right.
We'll give you their number, their staff member, and then you just repeat the process. We don't need to do that, guys. You know what I think people need to see? They need to see what happened in that courtroom today. And I think that will light a fire under people's rear end enough that they'll start going to the legislators themselves and saying, you know what? If you don't change what's going on in those family courts, we're getting your ass out of there.
are you reading my diary? I think you're reading my diary at this point. Because preaching from the rooftops. It's funny because we've talked off air, and for the folks out there,
thank you. It did. It came through. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm saying thank you to these guys that send in support, man. I mean, I wish there was something special I could do for each one of you guys that are doing that. So the reason I don't ask for donations anymore, Dwayne, let's get into that because this is going to be very important.
Let's get into it.
There's been so many. We're here vindicating John off of false allegations right now.
Yeah.
I never went through false allegations of sexual or physical abuse. I didn't go through the silver bullet.
Yep.
But I went through more allegations fighting in this movement than I ever did outside of it. I had so many allegations from people, the same people that I was fighting for, because it's over attention and the people want to be the leader, or I have no idea. But whenever you're in that position, they're going to make accusations. And it's usually people, just to be God honest with you, that's jealous and want to be who you are. And I guarantee you would never want to be in these shoes doing the things that I did. Because the majority of stuff I did never even went on the screen. And there was a lot of trips that weren't on the screen, and they absolutely sucked. You got to see the good moments. You didn't get to see the work that was done to get there. And there's so much more that's got to be done. But when you ask for money, there's always going to be people that claim that you do something wrong with it. I think, to be transparent, there's probably maybe $2,000 in donations that came in this week, I would say altogether. Okay. Well, when you take that, that's a decent bit, right?
Great. And you're a third of the way there.
That was the plane ticket. The
first ticket, not even the.
If I did one more plane ticket here, it's gone. So that sounds great, but I still got a house payment. I still got electricity. I still got to feed myself. I got to have a car. I haven't even started looking at taking care of me or my family, that's sacrificing me on the road so that I can do this. I need a lot more of it. And the last thing I want to do is have friendly fire going on. And that's why it would make me feel so much better to have other people doing the fundraising so I can stay away from it. I've got enough work doing on the outside. You do that, give me what I need. And the reason why this is important, we're going to get off of money here in just a second. But the thing I was thinking about, and I get frustrated because I have to tell myself, don't even think about it. Because if you say you want to do something, you aren't going to have the money to do it. And you're either going to have to fundraise, and then I know when I do it, I'll end up paying for it myself. There is another murder case that we just reported on. I want to be there with my camera blazing.
Yeah.
I want people to see it because that case, the Daigle case, is going to be the follow-up to John Mast. I truly do believe that was a powerful case where the guy that got killed, his 19-year-old son, watched him take his last breath, dude, and had no emotion.
Yeah.
The alienation that went on in that case, dude, I want to be there. But I also wanted to be there for Tyrone Darling. I wanted to be there for Chad Reed. I wanted to be there for Justin Goolsby. I want to be there for these guys because if they don't have dad talk to do the media and hold the local bastards accountable, we're going to have another John Mast.
Right,
and nobody's ever going to know about it. Let's just be honest, dude. If dad talk had not gotten in touch with, it's actually the other way around. If John Mast had not gotten in touch with me and came on that Thanksgiving and I recorded that show with him, we never would have had that footage for John to tell you what happened in his own words. And this case right now, who would know about it?
Yeah.
Serious. Who would know about it? It would have became a weekend headline and never mentioned again.
Yeah.
You might have got a one or two more articles out of it when the trial got closed, and then it would have been over. I Stand With John would have never happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There would have been nobody standing with John. Nobody. And the thing is John got represented. How many fathers just like John and stories like this happen? No one talked about.
No.
I don't want that to happen. I would love to be able, like when the Daigles come, is like, I can have my team there. We're going to have cameras going. We've done this before and we got your back. You don't have to worry about anything. We're going to be there. We're going to provide emotional support, but we're also going to take that awareness and that footage and show the world. And I honestly believe when that happens and people start finding out about it, that's how you create change, dude. That's how the change is going to happen. Not inside the courthouse telling them I'm your constituent.
Oh yeah, I mean I can speak to the Tyrone Darling case, which actually happened in my backyard, essentially down here in Texas. And you came down, we went into a very interesting area. You interviewed everybody. We got the footage. You provided the vigil for them. Hell, you made sure the kids
Billy Hops, thank you. Sorry, I'm listening to you, but Billy Hops, thank you. Just came in.
But you made sure that their kids had Christmas. You made, and you still are in communication.
Let me correct you there, Dwayne. I know this isn't what it's about, and thank you for giving me credit for that, but you're the one that took it. You were involved in that.
Yeah, I like to be the guy way behind. Of course, I'm on camera right now.
I would love to be it too. I would love to be it too, but if we don't tell people what's going on, they don't understand the work that's happening.
Yeah.
So, but you were involved in that too. You went and did a lot of work behind that. I mean, this guy, it's little things that people do, man, that make a difference. You could go, how many places in town can you go and get a free bottle of water right now?
5 places we got set up.
And that's what you're doing with your
company. Summer long.
Yeah. I mean,
free ice water.
Free ice.
Stay hydrated because it's 100 degrees here.
Dude, it's hot. Yeah. I told them that they don't know heat, dude. It's so dry here. I was like, you would hate being in Georgia right now.
Humidity.
I do want to give a quick shout out to my better half, Brandy. Because actually for that was a lot of what she does, a lot of volunteer nonprofit stuff. And she was the one that really, worked to make that happen. It was definitely, your direction, your efforts, in making sure that the Darling family, did their kids, his kids got Christmas. But I do want to give a shout out to my lovely bride. She's one.
Not to cut the celebration on Brandy short, but I just thought about this, and I got to get it out, or I'll lose it. The Tyrone Darling case is a hard one to talk on, guys.
It is.
The guy literally got shot in the head. Pushing his baby in a stroller, and his killer got no consequences. The jury did not indict them. There was no reason for this to happen other than small town politics or lazy jury. Like, the dude didn't even get indicted. His ex got away with putting a bullet in his head.
Broad daylight.
There is a family grieving that. I was there. We were all there.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched as his little 4-year-old son got on the microphone that dad brought in front of everybody and wanted to talk about his dad.
Yep.
And dude, you want to talk about something that hit you in the feels? And I just really love and miss my dad.
Yeah.
No justice, guys.
No
justice.
Actually,
and I'll tell you, that was a hard one because the family, hopefully she doesn't mind me saying this, guys. I think it's very well known. Our country right now is very politically divided. Okay. The race discussion is just off the charts.
Yeah.
But we heard about Tyrone and we weren't involved with him before like we were John. But we instantly wanted to get involved. We wanted to get his name out there and like, hey guys, another dad got killed. And we showed up and we did a rally and his family showed up. And I think it was one of those like, what's this white boy from Georgia doing in the hood, with these cameras talking about Tyrone. He didn't know Tyrone. And it wasn't very well accepted in the beginning.
No,
it just really wasn't.
The pizza may have helped.
What's that?
The pizza may have helped.
Yeah. We brought a bunch of pizza and fed them and everything, man. But afterwards, they was like, these guys really actually cared and wanted to help get Tyrone stuff out. And then when the camera wasn't around, we got them Christmas presents. We want to make sure the kids was taken care of. I'm here. That's been 3 years ago. I'm still talking about Tyrone. But think about this. No consequences. Shot in the head. Another dad lost. We should be out there doing the same thing for Tyrone that we were doing here, but we weren't there for Tyrone in his case when that jury did what it did. If you think you was upset about Jim Brashear getting 15 years for manslaughter, how would you have felt knowing that Tyrone got shot in the head point blank by his mom's girlfriend / boyfriend, who was a transgender, got shot in the head and got nothing?
Yeah. Well, Mr. John Brown had put a few other names that may seem familiar to you. Chad Reed, Justin, Brett. Names go on and on and on and on, and they do. I know people have asked a number of times today, how often does this happen? And there was, a little bit of back and forth. We're having a little bit of fun earlier in the live feed. But I actually used to track this, and I had to turn my scraper off because I was getting so many custody exchange murder hits on my scraper. It got ridiculous.
I don't know if people understand, man, but it's good because I got David here. He was here during the last 2 trials, so maybe they've heard me talk on it. Maybe they can hear David. I don't think, unless you've been, I think the only people that could probably relate to it would be like a cop or an EMT or something that's constantly seeing someone die. But I don't even think they would be able to relate emotionally, mentally, physically, what being involved in a case like this does to you. I'm on antidepressants now, dude. I'm going through panic attacks. I had a panic attack when the verdict was being read. I had to leave.
Did you go back
the courthouse the other day and come back to the Airbnb? But I was still watching on YouTube. And the more I listened, I thought I was going to have a heart attack, dude. That's just the honest to God truth. I swear on my dad's grave, dude, it was that bad because all I could think of is, are we going to fail John again? Are we going to fail John again? Are they going to get it wrong again? You get emotionally attached. And then when every day you wake up and your job is answering emails about dads getting killed and little kids being killed. Yeah. I mean, I gave very vague details earlier, but I don't think people understand how sick this world is. David was with me when we did Glen Terry in Texas.
Oh gosh.
Glenn, God.
That still resonates with me, still sticks with me. Just that was
just one that you got.
One. Yeah.
What did that do to you?
It still affects me today. When he was holding that box of his kids' ashes, and he said, "This is all I've got left."
And that was the only time he got to see him.
Yeah. He saw him
is in ashes.
Yeah, it was just
So it was very hard, man. Glenn was in a case of false accusations, and there's a mini documentary on him that the two of us made. And that's the type of media I'm wanting to make more of, guys. You got to. That's him holding his son. Never got to meet him in person. Fought for him his whole life, but that's how he gets to spend time with his son. Very early on, his son's name was Walt. His ex made sexual and physical abuse allegations towards a baby. I think his Walt didn't even live past 2 years old.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he made 2. But she made sexual allegations against him, and it took him away. Then she started accusing him of giving her herpes. Well, Glenn got tested. He didn't have herpes. So if she got herpes, she got it somewhere else. It didn't come from Glenn.
Right.
But Glenn had to go and prove, like John, that he did not sexually abuse his son. And he was able to do that. Oh, well, the reason he ended up getting custody was because one day as he was going down the road, she hit him in the car.
Purposefully, yeah.
She purposefully wrecked into him, and he didn't know it was her. He got wrecked into, and he's in a daze, and he's like, what in the world is going on? He looks behind him, and he sees his ex, and she's on the phone, and she had her son in the car. Called the cops and told them that Glenn was stalking her and had wrecked into her. When the cops got there, they arrested Glenn and put him in jail, and he's telling them the whole time, hey, guys, I didn't even know that was that. I did not do it. I did not do it. And because he had that protection order against him, against those sexual abuse allegations, he went to jail. And the first time he went to court, they treated him like a criminal, like John. Well, it goes to court again later, but there was something different this time. They found video of it, and it showed in that video that she had crashed into him. And when the judge saw it, I give it to the judge. He actually said what needed to be said. He said there was somebody following somebody that day. But it wasn't him following you. You were following him. And because we have found this out, I'm taking custody away from you, and I'm placing custody of the child in Glenn's custody. You need to meet back here 1 week from now to relinquish custody to Glenn Terry. Sounded great, right? No. Glenn knew right away. He said, guys, if you do not give me custody right now, she will kill him.
He went everywhere, right? He went to police,
dude.
He went to the attorney.
CBS went to the attorneys, the judge, anybody you could tell, the police. He told him, go get my son right now. If you do not get my son, she's going to kill him. Nobody listened. That's the name of that mini documentary. Nobody listened. Nobody listens to these dads until something happens. And by then it's too late. He told them this is what's going to happen. But nobody listened. That day he went up. He was waiting on her to bring the kid at the allotted time. Her sister showed up right before to check on her. And when she got there, she was inside of her house. Didn't tell this in the documentary. I wonder, because I don't want to sensationalize it, but all I'm doing is telling the truth. Took a knife and just completely split the baby in half. And then you hear me, like a not even a 2-year-old. I forget. We're talking about a baby. Just ripped it open with the knife, killed it, then turned around and killed herself to keep him from getting custody. And that's the one that had to fight for custody, you guys.
And what happened when Glenn wanted to see his own kid for the last time after the kid had died?
So saw him in a box. I mean, he got to see him with the scars. He did, yeah. And he said they had a little beanie over him. He tells all about it. And that the one thing he didn't tell you was how his child was murdered, like with the knife. And I only did that because I need people to understand the seriousness of this. How could a mother do that? I've got another case coming up, Dwayne. The father has been wanting to speak for over a year now. And when he finally speaks, I need the community to show up. One, be understanding, because this case has some really crazy details to it. And I can see people having different views on it, but you don't know what this guy has went through. But it's out of Tennessee. It's been a year since it happened. I talked to him when it first happened. I've spent 6 hours on the phone with this guy at a time, trying to console with him. You know, it's the stuff that don't come on the screen. But he was a veteran. He was sick. He had a 7-year-old daughter named Piper in Tennessee. And he had a wife. He very much loved his wife. She had mental health issues, and she had some mental breakdowns, like that she couldn't control, just mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
But at some point, I forget what the condition was. He was really, really sick, and he had to go stay in the hospital. While he was in the hospital that day, she called him and said, Mama's acting crazy. Like, something's going on with Mama. And he's like, baby, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. But Mom heard her talking to him, and eventually she made her get off the phone. And he said he waited and waited and was waiting for her to call her back and never even heard anything until the cop come walking in his door. After she got off the phone with her dad that day, his ex had another mental breakdown. And they lived across from the river. She got Piper, held her by the hand, walked her right across the road to the river, got in the water, put her head underwater, and held her there until she died. Okay. And this was his current wife. He was very much in love with her. Mm-hmm. And he said the problem was not only is he grieving the loss of his child, but he was grieving over his wife that did that. He does not forgive the act. Right. But he said she was not in her right mind, and she just went cuckoo. Yeah. And there's been a couple of cases like that as of late, where there was another one, I think it was last year, where a mom did the same thing that Glenn did to his baby, but it was 3. She did it to 3 of her boys. And the dad afterwards was like, guys, I'm telling you, that was not my wife. I don't know what happened. There's a lot going on with Big Pharma. And it's one of those, it would be easy. F that broad, she did this, she did that. Yes, what she did was horrible. But birth control, for instance, birth control, you're messing with hormones, man. And women and their hormones, we know how they can go crazy. And then what's it called? When a woman postpartum, after she has a child, postpartum depression, birth control tricks your body into thinking that you're pregnant, and that's why you don't get pregnant. And then what does that do? The woman's walking around like a pregnant woman and her hormones are raging. We got some stuff that's going on, and there's got to be deeper conversations rather than just saying, this one's good, this one's bad. Like, I feel sorry for this guy. Could you imagine your daughter being killed? But your wife, who you're very much in love with, that he said was a great mother, but this just happens out of the middle of nowhere.
I see it more
and now she's sad, she's showing, she's crying, she's all emotional. She's like, I don't know why I did it. Right. It is a very twisted case. And he's wanting to talk. But I guess even just the fact of saying, I love my wife, and she didn't do this, she wasn't in her right mind, he's afraid of how people are going to treat him.
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna have.
And I get it. He's not saying he takes up for her or wants to have her back. He's saying,
right,
something happened, and there's a conversation there that needs to take place. Yeah. So there's lots of different scenarios there, and these are conversations because they're so hard. There's not many places to get these stories out unless they can sensationalize it and put some commercials on a big network. And so right now, after John Mast's death, we became the place when custody exchange murders happen. I'm usually getting reached out to. And but I have to do them in small doses.
Apparently.
Yes. Unless I've been talking to Dwayne. I want to get Dwayne more geared up to be able to do some stuff by himself on Dad Talk. That's why he's been doing, some more stuff with me as of late. And I'd like to even have more because they need somewhere to be able to go to and to also have a support system and knowing that they got guys behind them. When trying to create something for John, like I always had in the back of my mind, what could keep him alive? What if he had it, would still be here? But also his family, they needed resources. They were grieving the loss of someone that was killed during a custody exchange, family court conflict. The family needs resources. What could we create for them? And I asked him, you don't know until you ask questions. I said, what is something that someone could do, that somebody could have done for you guys to help you when this happened, that you wish you would have had? And as the family sat there, I want to say it was Katie, and I'll never forget this, Katie, because it meant a lot. Because a lot of times when you're representing people and doing this online, you never know if you're doing the right thing or if you're doing the wrong thing or if you're saying the wrong thing at the wrong moment or asking a bad question. You never know. Like, it's hard. It's hard. It's a very sensitive subject, and you want to get it right. And sometimes you might not get it right, but you're out there doing your best,
Eric,
but it was good to hear this. She said, the best thing that we had And the best thing that anybody could have was when we went through this, there were so many people against John because of the allegations that we knew were false, that just having you guys there reporting on it and then seeing you at the rallies when you would show up and the hashtag I stand with John, that was the best thing because we knew we weren't fighting alone.
Well,
that's
Eric,
powerful right there, dude. That's powerful, man.
Very powerful. But I want to put this up on screen. I don't know if it's legitimate, but do we have someone here? LSCSC Mast. I was on the jury today. My heart breaks.
I'm sure it was. And you don't have to say your full name. Can you tell me, are you one of the ones that I talked to outside of the courthouse? So I will say there was 2 of the jurors that we had. The family got to meet with all of them and tell them thank you. There's 2 of the jurors that got their contact and they would like to come on and talk about what went on behind that. And we didn't get that last time. The jury didn't even want to look at us, dude. And that was just like, guys, if you only knew what this family and this movement has been through, you know, trying to fight for John, it just felt that was the day to get justice. And it felt like we got spit in the face all over again.
The last one, yeah.
I didn't even want to see this town again, dude. I didn't think I was ever coming back. I really didn't. I was like, they got this so wrong. But then again, I chop it up with that local media and the coverage and everything that went on, those small town politics. You guys,
Well,
I gotta watch. I know what I want to say.
Well, yeah, we sent press releases to. I sent press releases to all the
this time, and we did that on purpose.
Yeah, and none of them responded.
No. So LCSC Mast. Yeah, if you're on, if whatever, ask for if we can provide a little more info so he knows. But yeah,
I'd love to see what was your name, just your first name. You don't have to say it. Was you one of the ones that I got your phone number and talked with me outside of the courthouse? Because if not, I would love to speak to you, whether it's on here or not. I can tell you one thing the jury told us, their number one concern was that the kids were safe.
Mm-hmm.
And because the investigator even said those kids are in danger. They need to be out. Literally. So they need to be away.
And she wasn't subpoenaed.
Nope.
She wasn't subpoenaed. She wasn't paid to be here.
And how far did she drive?
14 hours.
She drove the drive that John did every week to see his kids.
Yeah.
She did that. That's how much she wanted to tell people how innocent John was. That's how wrong this town got it.
Yeah.
But
Viridiana Aureliano.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, because that's so very true. And when we talk about fathers' rights and dads, the challenges they got, you get the, moms too. No, this ain't a gender thing. We go through it just like you. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm not saying that moms can't go through it. By no means. There's moms that get alienated. There's moms that get screwed over in family court. Most of the time it's because she makes more money than him. And it's more profitable for the courts to make her the visitor. But it is a gender thing. This whole thing started off of making sure dads get the least amount of time in custody battles because it maximizes the profits for the system. And when these mom advocates come in here and try to say that's not true or that dads don't have it anymore, I can't listen to a thing you say. Right. I just can't. I will work beside you. And if there's a mom going through these problems, Dwayne, I will fight just as hard for them.
Yeah.
But they need to understand something. I'm trying to create a platform where these guys feel like they are heard.
Right.
Where they feel like they can speak up and not be judged. Mm-hmm. And they can have their own place. And then literally, even when we create that, they show up and try to hassle them. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. If you're a mom that really wants to change the family courts, is it so hard to acknowledge that it was started by screwing these dads? And there is still that stereotype there.
Yep. Yeah, Tori, I think, also nails it. Moms will never understand how hard it is for a father to fight for his children when he shouldn't have to fight in the first place. Preaching from the rooftops. Keep children out of the courts.
That's the thing. We've got to stop saying we need to clean up the courts and that we need to change the laws and all that. No. Dads do not need to be going to family court unless there is a reason for him to. Divorce is not a reason to put you in family court. It's not a reason for them to have to hire attorneys and go sit in front of a judge and to slander each other. That is not true. They should be able to come to an agreement. The hardest thing is going to be the financial assets, finding out who gets what. That's always going to be a battle, but it does not have to be what it is right now. The family courts will always be needed because there will be kids that will be molested. There will be kids that get abused. There will be kids that get abandoned. I get that. Save the courts for those cases. 99% of the cases that are just going through general divorce, they're already in high conflict. That's probably why they're divorcing. Stop it. Like, they do not need to be in court. We need to get moms and dads and children out of the family court as much as possible.
Yeah. LCSC Mast, you're welcome. It was very emotional, but a very clear what had happened. So it was very clear.
It made it more clear. But you got, I mean, like, and thank you. And I still like you. Are you one of the ones that I talked to? Like, if this verdict would have came back the other way, I wouldn't have known what to do, dude, because like it was crystal clear. Kevin and Joe
phenomenal
knocked it out of the park, but all they really did what was supposed to be done in the first place. Just tell the story. Tell the story. It's not that hard. John did all the work for us.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah, John's the one that did all the work and laid all the groundwork for this thing. All we had to do was find out what John did and tell the story. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But guys, can you thank this jury member down there?
Yeah.
I see this. Can we all give a... Now, how often is it that you see a father's rights advocate or dad talk today get cameras inside of the courtroom, welcome by the judge, welcome by the county courthouse, get acknowledged by the jurors, get contacts, they want to speak. I mean, this just tells you this case, I say again, was the biggest thing that's happened in the father's rights community, and it's historical. And I don't think
people don't get it.
It'll be a while before people see the importance of it.
Yeah. I mean, this got the foot in the door, the toe in the door of opening this thing wide open. Now it's a matter of Dad Talk Today taking it where it needs to go to finally get this crap over with.
Dude, if I don't get the funding, I have to go work on other stuff.
Right.
So you guys got to understand, I get hundreds of messages every day of new people wanting me to cover their case. I can't even get in the comments or start replying because I'll see something that I want to get involved in. I just financially cannot get involved, guys. I can't. And I want to. It literally rips my heart out because I can't. And nobody watching could either. Unless you're a millionaire, you wouldn't be able to do it either. You're asking me to do something that you yourself wouldn't be able to do. If we can get the advocates together that will start doing the fundraising, the rest of it I can take care of. The one thing I can't do is make money rain. Yeah. That's just it. And I don't want to be involved in that process. I don't. I'm doing it right now because I am on the other side of the country. We've been here all week. I go home for a couple of days, hopefully more than a couple of days, but it won't be long. And then I take off again. And this guy's going with me. He's going to have to fly next time. And he loves flying. He loves flying, but we're not at home for long. And then we got to go leave our loved ones again. He loves his wife just as much as we love ours, Dwayne. I can tell you. He's got a Brandy and a Tina. She's a very sweet lady, Miss Leslie.
Yeah.
So, and he's got a story I would love people to hear. Maybe we'll get it out one day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, we got Paul LCSC Mast. Thank you for being an honest person. I like Chris's. It appeals more to my countryness. LCSC Mast. I owe you a beer. I think.
Yeah. Well, it was one thing that after I hugged Robert, I went up to Kevin and Joe and put my hand on their shoulders. I was like, I'm going to buy you a shot of Jack Daniels or whatever it is. I don't drink, but if you guys deserve a shot, I'll buy you a bottle. How about that?
Kim here is asking a question. I know we've talked about it a bit. I keep hitting the wrong one. There's so many comments coming in that keeps flipping up. But who is a contact person about raising funds? I know you've talked about it.
We don't have one.
Yeah.
We don't have one.
Yeah, this is something.
Dude, I haven't even been asking for funds or anyone because I didn't have anything going on. If I've got something going on, I'll ask for funds. You know, not long ago, I had to replace my AC. You was telling me to tell people to help out because I couldn't do the podcast because I had no AC in hot-ass Georgia. But I hate fundraising, dude. I hate it because that's where all the allegations and all the BS starts. Anytime you do something like this, people want to discredit you because they don't want you to reach your goals, right? And that's the first place that people are going to hit you, money. And so I just try to stay away from it because what do you got, you know? But it's going to have to be done. If I could get a team that would be interested in just handling that whole part, that would be amazing. And I tell you what I've done. I've got social media with close to 1.5 million followers. Mm-hmm. I've had guests from celebrities to very high up politicians. I've had, one of my guests was the Speaker of the House. And he's been on Charlie Kirk, you name it. And I've had them from all different political parties. The foundation work is there, but somebody would have to do that part. And I saw the comment about the 501c3. There's many reasons. I touched on this earlier. I don't want a 501c3.
Well, I'm a 501c3. And you're very limited.
You're limited.
What you can do, your articles of incorporation, when you write them, you know, you can't have any political affiliations, stuff like that.
I want to endorse people. Yeah. I want to, dude, that judge, when he runs his campaign, I want to be able to say, vote for Judge Monson. Yep. If I was a 501c3, you can't do that. And I tell you something else that happens. People will sink the ship just because they couldn't be captain. Okay. Yep. And if you get in there and you get a board and one of them gets mad or they say, hey, I want to be the guy up top. And I could literally have my company that I put my blood, sweat, and tears ripped out from under me. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that.
And even being a nonprofit, how we are, we still get flack. Even though we're regulated by the Secretary of State, we're transparent. People still come around and say you're misrepresenting funds or misappropriating funds. Well, I go through that all the time. It's ridiculous.
Well, that goes back to lazy journalism, and right now the thing that's popular to do is exposés. And there's literally content creators that do nothing but talk about other content creators, and that's the only way they get attention. Mm-hmm. It must suck to be such a bad journalist and content creator. The only way you can get people to pay attention to you is to talk about other content creators.
Yeah, talk bad about other people. I know,
but it's a very popular thing.
Well, here's something I maybe want to
touch on. But I mean, it's more hassle than it's worth. By the time you get it printed, and then like I'll have a shirt that gets sold, and I might make $5 off of selling it. And if you ask for any more, people, I can't pay that for a shirt. Mm-hmm. Well, now I have to leave my office, and now I got to go to the post office. I live in the country. Now I got to go there and stop what I was doing, put it in an envelope and send it off to make that $5. But then I had to buy a big batch of shirts in order to do it. It's just.
And then you got the size small that nobody buys and you're left over.
And then even if you got the merch, you got to start using your space on your social media that you really need to get over stuff. Like this whole week, I was about John on my personal social media. Hey, we're coming back. Oh, we're on break right now. This is what's going on. Get your dad talk today mug. Get your this. It's more trouble than it's worth. And the amount of money that it's going to take to fund a movement with farmers' rights, it's going to take way more than that. Like guys, one of the ways to get in touch with these people and just going into the behind the scenes in politics is fundraisers. If you want to meet the guys behind the scenes, you need to show up to the fundraisers. And because it's a fundraiser, that means you got to pay to be there. Mm-hmm. That's not paid. Now, I'm not talking about just paying to get there. They want to see you do a big donation to get in. And once you get in, then you can start rubbing elbows. And how many of those do you got to attend? A lot. And that could be, dude, I've got a copy of this, guys. I will show it to you. I'm not even lying. I still got a copy of it. You want to hear the craziest fundraiser I was offered? I was one of 12 that was offered. I was one of 12 offered to go eat supper with Donald Trump at his golf club. I want to say this is 2023.
How much is the plate?
Well, dang, man. That's exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
How much? But I was one of 12. I would have been able to sat down with him, hang out with him the whole night, eat $100,000. But I was one of 12. I felt very special. So if all 12 would have paid that's 1.2 million. I understand what Trump's doing. He is a brilliant marketer. That's $1.2 million. And I would have got that. I can't spend I don't even make that in a year, bro. And you think I'm going to go spend that on one filet mignon? Dude. Well, I mean, like, serious. I got to pull this up because people will think I'm playing. I told you, when I say context, I got them.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I'm going to share the Dad Talk Today website. Now, there is a spot on there about merch coming soon. If you're interested, maybe you shoot out some emails. And if you're wanting to get stuff, maybe if Eric gets enough people pre-registered for a T-shirt or a mug or something like that, maybe something to do. Other things you can do. He's actually
down the lane.
Let me shut my thing down real quick. I think it's that one. There we go. Oh, look at that.
Tell me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. MAGA again, and invite you to a candlelight dinner with President Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States, Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Sorry, it wasn't 23. 100,000 per person. You read that.
Yeah. $100,000 per person private dinner and photo op with President Trump.
Yeah, only $100,000.
Only $100,000, you know. Couple zeros.
They might get mad at me showing this because that was a private invitation. I really don't care because I don't plan on going to them anymore. But it's not usually that high by no means, guys. But there's a lot of those fundraisers, and then that's how people get access there. And people will think, oh man, they must be connected. They know people. No, it's probably because they spent money.
They spent money.
That's the truth. Nobody else is going to tell you that because it's more flattering to be like, look who I got access to. Look, we're buddies. No, you spent money and you got there. Now I have gotten access. I have done a lot, but it took a lot to get there, dude. And that's just in the political realm. But when you're talking about like celebrities and different stuff, it's being at the events, the Comic-Cons and different stuff. It's all about networking. And it's very expensive to pull it off. What's up?
Talking about Comic-Cons, that's my world. Let me in there. But well, if people are wanting to help out, there's Matrix Hormones. If you go to the dadtalktoday.com website, on Matrix Hormones, and I always forget the discount you can get for the first month, but there's ways to help out Dad Talk Today, going there, getting that type of stuff. Also, you can. Actually, Eric is an author. He has his own book, which I have a copy of, my personal copy.
I haven't pushed it much. I have a very bad problem about fundraising or promoting stuff for me.
Right.
It gets under my skin, dude, because but I hadn't even mentioned it in a long time. We put a lot of hard work into that book. You can get it on Amazon. I have 200 copies at the house, and people that might be watching this that I promised an autograph copy to, and I never got to send it. I was going to send them a copy. I didn't have the money to send the book.
What about mine?
That was the honesty, but I have it there. I don't make any money off the book as of right now. I think I might, I don't know if I'm allowed to put details. I make a very, very small percentage, and it would be a long time because what it took to make it would have to be brought back before I make anything. And even if I made it, it would be very, very tiny. So it's not a money thing, but there is a lot in that book. That book actually starts off dedicated to John Mast, and the foreword of my book was written by a few different people. But the main foreword was wrote by Robert Mast. And I said, if somebody buys my book, I don't want to be in there bragging on myself. I'm going to use that opportunity to let Robert Mast talk about John.
Actually,
and I do. I went through a lot of flack for that, because usually what happens in the front of a book, you're supposed to get some type of celebrity or big figure to write a foreword to make yourself look important. And again, I didn't want to do that. I said, I want them to hear about the stories and the fathers that I represent. And I asked Robert Mast, I said, would you please do this for me? So that book actually is connected to what we're doing here. I started it off with John. And it's Robert Mast on the.
And Eric, you're 100% right. Yeah, the first main page, I Stand with John, gives his birth date, a nice biblical scripture, and it goes right into the murder of John Mast. I want to talk about kind of the very first page. This kind of hits me. I don't know if you remember what's on the kind of the very first page of the book. I'm gonna test your memory here.
I dedicated the book to my dad. It was just plain and simple. I wouldn't be anything. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without him. He was a pastor. He showed me how to care for other people more than yourself. I got mad at it growing up. I see my mom down there. I think my whole family would tell you we used to get upset with it as kids because he would do more for other people than he would his own family. We were always an afterthought. And we was like, why don't you do that at home? Or why don't you do that for me? And it was just because my dad cared about people. As a kid, I was very resentful of it with him being a pastor, because he was always out doing something for someone. And I wanted my dad. And it was one of those moments and I held that against him for years, man. And, as you get older, you start to realize your old man a little bit more. And when he died, I'll never forget, dude, the visitation at his funeral. Dude, it went out the door. It was supposed to go from 6 to 8 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, we still had a line out the door. Yeah. And I said, look at who my dad was reaching. All of this is because of him. In the one interview, I can answer it for you quickly. If I could interview anybody living or dead, who would I want here beside me? It would be him. Because I was nothing without him. And to know how much that man means to me, and to know there's kids out there that are not getting that opportunity, man. If I would have had my dad held back from me, I wouldn't be who I am. And I know what that's like, to want a relationship with a child and be denied it. I'm not a perfect person. I make all kinds of mistakes. I can be hard to get along with. I can be stubborn. I've done a lot of bad things, but I'm a great father. And I love my kids. I think they'll all tell you that. To know that I could have a relationship and I'm not allowed. I know what it's like to be in you guys' shoes. And I've never used the platform to make it about my case. And I'm not going to start. I'm just going to tell you, there's a reason I know how to talk on this stuff. And that book, I wanted it to be, if you're not in this battle, most of the time you do not understand what it is the guys are going through. And they have a very hard time explaining what they are going through in the family courts to their loved ones, to their friends. That's what this book was for. Hand them this book. It will be an introduction to the problem. It will be an introduction to what it takes to be an advocate. And there's also a lot of good information and stuff in there along the way. That is my words in there. I had somebody that really helped me. He actually works with CBS, pretty big time. If you could see the politicians that he ghost wrote for, but I wrote the book, but he took it, cleaned it up, and helped it flow, because you got to have a good flow with the book. Right. And we worked on that for 2 years. It's a really good book, and
it's a good, easy read. And it's funny because as you're reading it, I'm hearing you in my head saying the words out there, doing your Georgia twang and all that. But you can tell it's a heartfelt book. I mean, again, it was a good, easy read. I didn't really have to sound out any of the big words, but it's a good book. And again, for people that want to help out and all that, that's one way of doing it. I did want to offer one last one. Is if you want the book.
Again, I'm not going to be making anything off of that, which is why you don't see me on a book tour right now. Not that I don't want the book to be out there, but I have to eat and keep the lights on. And right now, if there's 5 of us in my household, they're all, besides one, driving now. And when they're older, I'm sure David I just heard him talking to his daughters over here. Are you hungry? They eat all the time and groceries are not cheap.
Yeah.
I have to work on other things. And it makes me so sad because there's so much opportunity here with this movement. And people see my numbers and they're like, oh man, he's got over 1 million followers. Yeah, they're broke asses. They're like me. So it's just hard. I have to go work on other things and I really don't want to.
Right. So, well, one last thing for the website. If you're wanting to schedule time with Eric, tell him about your story, your thing. You go
How
to
long has that been up there, Dwayne?
I'm sorry?
How long has that been available on the website? But I haven't promoted
gosh, when did I build it? 6 months, a year? It's been a while. It's been a minute.
And I had a hard time promoting it, dude.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing
it. You
guys
are really getting a heartfelt thing that I've needed to do for a while. That just
You're welcome.
Yeah. So if you go to it, I'll explain that really quick. There's the documentary about Glenn Terry.
Yep.
That's dadtalktoday.com. The 2 of us right here were the ones that made it when we was out in Texas. And that was just because we had an off day.
Yeah, I was just, and when we were down there, you were bombarded. Because I hadn't been anywhere with you. That was the first trip I took with you, right? And so you were getting story after story, like we got to go tell the story. People wanted you to go tell their story everywhere. And I could see that you wanted to go everywhere, but you can't. Yeah. So we ended up doing Glenn's story, and it just,
Well, because out of all the stories, Glenn's is one that makes you say, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't tell everybody's story. And unfortunately, when you can't tell somebody's story, some of them turn against you.
Uh-huh.
They won't support anything you do from that moment on. Oh, he's motivated by money or something like that. And it's like, no, dude, you have a battle. I have a battle. But if I put that story out there, you sound just like my neighbor or anybody else down the block. And even the stories that are extreme, like John's, look at this case. It had everything that would be in a Netflix documentary, the twists and turns, who was involved in the killing, the whole 9 yards. Where's the kids? Blah, 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 blah. And even we struggled to get anybody to pay attention. So you just go and spend all your time telling the average divorce story. It gets crickets. But there's certain stories that make people say, oh my God, and they want to get involved because of how crazy it is. And so you can't get into, I can't even respond to all their emails. And so I've gotten more hate over the years just because I can't get involved and I can't give them one-on-one attention. And that hurts my heart because I care for those guys. I really do. I made a mistake this past week. I'm not going to talk like I was, if I go somewhere and I like to meet up with the advocates and stuff, but one of the worst things I can ever do is like, what's going on in your family law case? Uh-oh. I just got into a 4 or 5 hour conversation because they don't give me the latest update. It's going to be a while and I can't, so it's a battle, man.
We've had people, in the comments wanting to reach out, get in contact with you. I've been actually directing them to the website. But if you're wanting to schedule some one-on-one time with Eric to talk about either your case, next steps, talk about making a mini documentary or a full-blown one, this is the first steps. You go to the website, click on the hour or half hour. I think you're a little fuzzy on the time. You schedule 30 minutes. It ends up being 3 hours. But go on there, schedule some time with them. And sit down, talk, and see where it goes.
And it's paid. If you're wanting to create a project where you do the fundraising and stuff to where I can take my time away from whatever's going on in life to work on it, I'll do my best to make myself available, for free. Unfortunately, because I was so big into doing everything for free, going around the country and trying to be there for everybody. Once I started saying, hey, I need support, or, is there a way that you can help, financially? People look at you like you're crazy. If you give everything for free, once you start saying you need help, they think you're ripping them off, and it's like, no, I just came up and I literally I've had places where I've bought my own hotel room, bought the flights, everything out of my pocket. And they would be,
they'd be offended that,
they would be offended that I won't do it again,
right.
or like, or that I said, hey, is there any way you can help? But that's really an indicator to me. If you're willing to pay, and I know you respect it, I know you respect my time and you value me. And I also know that you're going to tell me what I need to tell, or what needs to be told. And there's a mutual respect there, because if you do your part, I'll do mine. And I will be there for you. But the world isn't free. It's not free for me to speak with you. It's just the reality of the world, dude. $100 right now will get you 2 bags of groceries. And that's a day for my family, if that, but if you're wanting to work on a project, I would love to sit down with you, and you will have to be your own fundraiser. If I got to get involved and then I got to do all of it and everything, it just defeats the purpose. And also understand too, guys, in between the many projects that I'm working on, I'm taking care of sick family. I'm not going to go deep into it, but the majority of my time I'm having to spend with family members that really need me right now, and they need around the clock care. So,
yeah, I think Todd nailed it. Super fair. Yeah, for the guys who don't see this, is I'll get a text at 2 a.m. from this knucklehead. Hey, this, or hey, that. Oh, we got this. There's just so much money. There's just 24 hours in the day. He's got a family. He's got sick family, and I mean, you dropped everything and flew out for this event. Yeah, I mean,
bottom line, when this podcast, it wasn't supposed to be about me and finances. I want to do more. I've got the tools to get the movement going out there. If you do your part, I can do mine. And if that isn't done, unfortunately, I'm in the background waiting until there's people that are ready to do their part. I'm going to do what I can when I can. And hopefully if one day that changes and we can do more, we will. And if not, today was a good day. Today was a vindicating day and one of the best days I've had in this movement. And it hurts me that tomorrow I won't be able to work on it. You know what I mean? I guess that's it. It's like I get so sucked back in and I'm ready to rock and I'm ready to roll. At the end of the last case, I was ready to give up, but no, I went and made another documentary. And I promised myself, I'm like, you're not doing another documentary this time. You're not doing another documentary this time. Now that we ended on such a good note, I'm not opposed to doing another documentary. That last one was $20,000, dude. Yeah, $20,000, and then I put it on YouTube for free. So, yeah.
It's something, but yeah, I mean, it was a great day. I mean, we had one of the jurors in the comments.
Yes.
That person, I don't know if it's male or female, but if that person, felt after seeing all the evidence, the overwhelming evidence, and did the right thing, I'm so glad justice was served today. And I mean that the look right here on Robert's face, it looks like he finally is going to sleep for the first time in years.
Just to tell you how tired I am, dude. And like, there's just so much going on in the head right now. And I apologize if we went off in different directions during this. I'm wanting to get that information out. So hopefully it reaches the right ears and we can start getting more involved and moving forward. Politics is not going to be it. Meeting with attorneys is not going to be it. We need to become the media. We need to become our own media. If nothing was more evident this past week, the cameras in the courtroom, creating more, getting the real stories out, that's where it's going to be. But as good as the moment as that was with Robert, I get with Robert outside of the courtroom and he's crying on the phone. And he said, he was like, 1 second. He was like, you've got to talk to Eric. And I get on the phone and it was John's mom.
Oh,
and man. It was such a sweet moment. You could hear the relief in her voice. And she made it to the first day of trial. earlier this year, she fell and broke her hip and her femur. And she got a hip replacement, and her femur was fixed. But that just tells you the determination of her wanting to be there and wanting to see this happen. One of the sweetest women I've ever met. And Robert gets around good for his age. I want to say Robert's 76 or 77. Yeah. And that is my buddy. I wish I had him for a dad. And he's that moment right there. That's why I said it was an inappropriate time to ask for a picture, but I didn't even ask. I just said, "Here, David, take the picture." And so Robert was kind of caught off guard. It was just that, I mean, you could tell everybody was going through the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I know, you know, we're wanting to move forward and stuff too. They need a break. They need to get up to speed. No, not get up to speed. They need. We all need reality to hit right now.
Process it.
Yeah, it's just it is. I haven't processed because I came straight here. Didn't eat supper. Didn't eat anything. I wanted the processing to happen on screen with you guys. John would want you to have that, not me. John would want you to have this moment right now. Nothing would have made him happier than to know the world got to see he was telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think Todd's comment here, I'm pretty sure there were a couple of followers no longer with us that were all with all of you today. They're celebrating your faithfulness and who you were meant to be. Yeah.
Well, we haven't ever got to celebrate like this, man.
Yeah.
If I was a drinker, I would be drinking right now. He said, I wish Robert was my dad. I had an amazing father. I'm just saying, like his kids. Dude, it's hard to put into words.
Yeah,
you don't meet people like that.
No,
you don't. They're with y'all. I mean, the cameras, the way it was done. Another prop out to Judge Monson. But I felt the way you guys did it, such a great job. I felt like I was in the courtroom. And of course, now that I'm old, my hearing sucks. That kind of some of the audio issues are the same too.
The problem last time was we had a movie making set up, and we were live streaming. I mean, the camera he had today, I've got the same camera at home. You make movies with it too, but we was a little bit more geared up to do what we needed to do. But still, dude, we had our challenges. Who would have known moving the laptop 5 feet would take your internet connection speed from 2 megabytes to 100 megabytes? Yeah. And then literally, we didn't go to a different room, didn't do anything. It was just a courtroom. Being near the front or midway, you're getting 2 megabytes, and on StreamYard, you need a minimum 25 for it to run properly.
Oh yeah.
And then moving it by the door, we got 100. If you're in the hallway, it's blazing.
Yeah.
But we had a team there between me, him, Mark Escobar came all the way from California. He was not here to get to share this moment. So I almost forgot to mention him. He had to take the rental car. So I've been having to hitch a ride all day long. He drove, how far is Cordia Lane?
2.5 hours.
He had to drive 2.5 hours away to testify in front of the Senate on the family court issues. He's still doing the legislation stuff. And then he also had his own family court case today. He hadn't seen his daughter in 5 years, guys. Yeah. 5. But he was here this week. We were on the cell phones, all communicating with each other, play by play. Keep it going, keep it going. After the first day, I started going out in the hallway and was just watching on YouTube so I could see what the viewer was seeing.
Right.
So I knew what to do at what time. And it ran smooth, man. Yeah. It ran smooth. Each time we do it, it gets better.
It would have been flawless if it wasn't for the Wi-Fi issue at the courthouse. That had nothing to do with us. Luckily we bought an extra hotspot, or we would have really been in trouble. Until we moved back to the back door, we didn't realize. But
I mean, dude, and I think people were, don't take this in the wrong way. I think people were genuinely entertained and involved, getting to watch the video in the process, feeling like they were in the courtroom, getting to hear the objections and seeing the decisions and who was fair, who was not fair, and all that. And that's something we just don't get from the podcast.
Oh, yeah. The raw.
You don't get that from the podcast. It's another reason I like making films. You can tell the story in a way that you can't do on a podcast. Podcast has its advantages, don't get me wrong, but yeah, dude, what a moment to be a father's rights advocate.
I mean, without throwing too much shade on some of the people that were in the comments earlier on, we had a couple naysayers, a couple people that
was all related to the family.
Yeah. And
all related to the family.
What was so great, one of the many things that was so great about actually having cameras in the courtroom is that those arguments, you couldn't put any weight to their argument because you were seeing all the statements, all the evidence, and there was no way that any reasonable person could come to any other conclusion.
Oh, dude, that's what I said. Yeah, if at this point in time the jury would not have done what they did, oh my God, dude, it would have been, I don't know what we would have done. And that's what I'm saying, dude. Waiting for that verdict. Yeah. I had a panic attack, guys. I was like,
imagine not having the cameras in the courtroom and just relying on a newspaper reporter.
Yeah. What if Dad Talk wasn't there? You guys got to see all of that, the crazy twists and turns. What if great point. What if we wouldn't have been there with those cameras blazing and all you would have had was that newspaper article?
Yeah.
Go read those newspaper articles, guys. For the ones of you that followed this whole case, go read that newspaper article and ask yourself, would I have been satisfied? Yeah. For the last week, would I have been satisfied if this is the coverage that I would have got? I wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But if that's all you know, I mean, I had several of them say like they just found out today that it was on YouTube. Because I generally like several months. I like several months being able to promote something so people know when it's coming up. We had 2 weeks, man. And between that, I was working on 5 other projects, taking care of family, and all I could do was a Facebook post. And dude, I had 43,000 followers on my personal. I make a post. Sometimes I'm lucky if 100 people see it. 1 million people in Dad Talk, same thing. I'm lucky sometimes if 100 people show it or see it. So you have to constantly just keep posting, hoping that when they get on the algorithm, they're going to see it at that moment in time. And so not enough people saw it. We didn't have nowhere near the viewers this time that we did last time. And this is the one that they needed to see, you know? So now I got to think of, we got John vindicated, but how do we get the story out there so he gets fully vindicated?
Yeah, all the people that have
the naysayers.
Yeah, the naysayers.
Yeah, how do we get this out there for the naysayers?
Well, it'll be interesting to see the article tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I imagine there's going to be several people. And you know what? If you're a naysayer, I can't believe they did that to that man. I can't believe it. They didn't get to see that trial. I want them to see that trial. Those are the people I want to see this trial because that's how bad you got it wrong. You know who I hope sees this trial more than anybody? Was that last jury.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that last jury that got it so wrong. I would love to talk to you afterwards. And there was a reason they didn't want to talk to us. They didn't want to look at us, dude. They were like disgusted that our crew was there.
Yeah.
And it was one of the shittiest feelings in the face of this earth to know that we were trying to fight for this dad and knowing that those people almost look at you like they wish you would die, man.
Yeah. Well,
it was a bad feeling, dude. It was a bad. I mean, last time I was here, I literally had a security guard, off-duty police officer taking me to and back from the courthouse with a bulletproof vest. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. I'm leaving my home to do that. You're damn right, man. I stand with John wasn't a tagline.
Right. And you want to have people supporting you while you're doing it. You want people in the comments that's watching it so you know it means something.
Well, seeing the support along the way, definitely. Mm-hmm. It's like it's like having your own cheerleaders. There's a reason they have cheerleaders in football.
Oh, yeah.
But knowing that you got people cheering for you makes you want to do a better play. So I couldn't wait to get on here and let the people know. Now you can cheerlead. But it helped along the way to see the people. Thank you for your efforts and thank you for doing this. Yes. And then when you see the negative comments, it does get to you, man. People can say it doesn't bother them. I don't believe it.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe it. I mean, if you're passionate about what you do, you know, stuff like that can get to you. So it was good to be able to read the comments and see the support. It was good to see a comment go on local media, and literally every single reaction on that article was in defense of me.
Yep. That's not typical.
No. I'm in their local area doing the media, and every single reaction was on my side. Wow.
So do we want, is it okay to kind of talk about like some of the things, maybe uncomfortable questions about what happened, you know, in the courtroom?
You can put them out there, but if I don't answer them, you know, it's
fair enough. I'll just go right for what was the deal with, I mean, when I was watching it, I found it very odd that you had a convicted felon, not shackled. Or do you want to, I mean, tell me if you don't want to answer.
David knows. I'm going to go grab a drink.
Yeah. Well, when we were first there, the guy the officer that brings him in or his caretakes for him or whatever all day, well, he walked through and I knew him and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And I turned twice and it was James.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a full suit. And I thought, what is going on? That's weird. Well, when the other guy came back out, I said, "Hey, why is he?" It was for medical reasons, is what they told us. Right? That's what they told us.
Yes. And so, and what a lot of other stuff people don't see is like when the sound goes out or like him not being in shackles, we already know he's not in shackles. It was one of the first things we noticed. We're upset about it, but I'm getting 20 text messages about the same thing. You know, sounds offer. He's not in shackles. And it's like, we know that.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit of slap on the hand because, you know, we thought the mics were off of day one when everything went into recess.
I don't think they didn't slap us on the hand.
No, they just said,
like, let's be careful with it.
Well, yeah, because you could hear James and the bailiff talking about writing a book and stuff like that. So that wasn't our fault.
That was really, they had their own mics that looked like an Alexa that sit on the table. Mm-hmm. And so it was coming into our feed. And to tell you what was even crazier is they said at one point in time when I went outside, so I could talk to you guys to let you know I was going to end the feed. Somehow, magically, I came over the speakers when I was talking on my cell phone in the courthouse.
Yeah,
with everybody in.
Yeah. You may have been like pulled into the StreamYard or something like that. But yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, as a outside observer, I'm sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden I see him just having that conversation with the bailiff, and I'm going, wait, he's a convicted felon.
And they were talking about writing books and how to make money to write books and stuff like that.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, there were a couple, things that happened. I mean, well, one of the, I was working and listening like a lot of people were doing, and there was a comment that was made, I think it was day 2, that made me go, I had to stop working, look over and go, what the hell? Was when Rebecca said, "Who are you going to believe, me or a convicted felon?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She threw her dad under the bus.
Like, what? Like, what the hell?
That was shocking to me when they did that. You know, believe me, you're a convicted felon. And then the craziest part is at the end when she was trying to get onto the Mast's claim. Like
hold up, we're gonna switch phones and then we'll start talking about that. Stay right on that.
We're gonna get some tea. We're gonna drop some tea here. Yeah, I mean, for the folks out there, I mean, I watched along with everybody else, and there was some stuff that I'm like, what the hell? And I was hoping Eric and Dave would drop some tea for us. So be sure to share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then so people can see this stuff. Anyway, okay, you guys are back.
So people are charged up. That's the funny part. So yesterday, after the jury got sent home and we were getting like the jury instructions and stuff ready, they start talking about the emotional distress with the family. Mm-hmm. And one part, Becky's like, "Do you think I can get on the lawsuit with the Mast family against my father?"
Yeah.
Because I went through emotional stress by him as well. So let me just say this, between me and Robert Mast and his family and all of us last night when we went out to eat, that was a good laugh.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good laugh. And it's like, and here's the thing that sucks about it, dude. Here's Jim spending probably the rest of his life in prison for doing this. And his daughter literally crapped on him numerous times.
Yeah.
And then I'm so glad the jury saw through it, because there were so many times he contradicted himself. He said, I'm the one that did it. My daughter had nothing to do with it. I'm telling you, she was not involved at all. He said, I did it because I thought he was a sexual molester, or he sexually molested his kids. Well, who told you he sexually molested his kids? Obviously, it was her, because everybody else was saying it didn't happen. He was innocent. But you just said she wasn't involved. If she wasn't involved, then how did you come to that conclusion? That's one.
I'll do you one better.
Many other things.
I'm going to do you one better. I have short and long-term memory. No, she never told me about it ever. I'm sitting there screaming at the screen going, what the hell you want?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, I plead the fifth. Did that give you a headache? How many times you said I plead the fifth?
That needs to be its own meme. That needs to be its own meme.
They knew
I plead the fifth.
So,
there were so many things in there that just blew my mind.
How did y'all like that performance by Ray Charles?
Yeah. Oh God. I can't see it. Oh. There we go.
You noticed how quick on those leading questions, man. She blurted out as quick as she could to get it out. And the judge, I don't know.
I volunteer my time at the. It's like, oh my God, give it a rest, lady. I know. Well, she did it last time. She did the exact same. I mean, they tried to do the same thing last time as they did this time. Yeah, there was, those parts, but it was just the walking contradictions that happened. Actually, at the very end, James kind of gave in the closing argument. He gave more reasons to convict both of them, to make find them both liable.
Dude, I mean, he is the example of a simp. He was controlled, he was manipulated, and then he called himself the fix-it man.
Yeah,
but he wasn't the fix-it man. He was the fall guy.
Yeah, and
he was the one to do it, and the fall guy. But nothing. There was a question that came in on Dad Talk when it was live streaming about that, and him saying she had nothing to do, or she kept saying, I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with it. And then there was people who was like, oh, she had a lot to do with it. She had a lot to do with it. And I was like, this is where the fix-it man comes in. Yeah. Right now, she's up there, and now because she might be a part of it, she's got a problem. He's trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Today was when he was trying to be the fix-it man.
So, answer if you want. So, after the verdict was read, did what? And I know you turned the camera. I was like, oh, I mean, I know you want to capture that emotion and stuff, but I was like, did they shackle him back up? Did she offer any? Did she
I'll give you one even better, dude. No, there was no emotion. They left, but
really,
yeah. Well, she walked right by me on her way out.
He was no longer useful.
Let me tell you something, and I don't know if the courthouse sees this. I again, truly thank and respect that courthouse, especially Judge Munson. If we had more judges like him, I might actually have more faith in our courts.
This problem would be over.
At the same time, one of the things that got under my skin, and this has nothing to do with Munson, this is just the court in general and the security there. On that first day, not only was Jim using a cane and in a suit instead of an orange jumpsuit and shackles.
Yep.
He was walking in between the Mast family back and forth all day.
Yes.
All day.
Yeah.
You have a convicted killer that killed their son. They have already been through all of this stress. We're here at a wrongful death trial. Just casually walking through like he is a random, just another spectator. And not being treated as this guy that literally put all these bullets in people.
Well,
he literally walked in between, bumped in my shoulder one time, dude, in the hallway.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I don't know. Maybe he did it on purpose, but just walking in between us and walking in between that family. And I'm like, how in the world is he allowed to do this? If I could say that would be probably the only feedback I would give that courthouse. Yeah. Don't ever let that happen again. No. He was a convicted killer. He should have never been in the same vicinity as the Mast family.
Right.
And he was numerous times.
They was eating Arby's at the table.
But that tells you again how good-hearted and what kind of people the Mast were, because nothing broke out. Nothing broke out. If that would have been another family, it might not have been the same situation.
Yeah, that would have been my opportunity. I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, at one point I was jokingly saying, are they all going to go out to Denny's after this and have a reunion or something? It was just so
crazy, dude. Crazy.
Deborah here, the Mast family exuded nothing but grace. I say inside buddies, the Mast. Whenever they made the Mast family, they broke the mold. I had the honor of meeting him one time when he was here in Texas. He actually came down on his own dime for the
Darling.
The Darling family to counsel and to offer support for them. That's the kind of guy Robert is. You'll never meet another guy like Robert.
Nope. He is salt of the earth, one of a kind, man. His whole family.
His entire family.
His Katie, Stephen, Michael, Betty, Sam, David.
I'm trying to remember the names.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can do it. There's another one.
There's another.
Doesn't get to show up. Carolyn is like one of the siblings too. Oh my God. I wish I wouldn't even started now. There's one more, but I've never gotten to meet her because she's usually.
Oh, she's Kansas City, right?
Yeah, she's a long way away. But I think I'm pretty much, that was it.
I think, let's see.
They had two, and see, this is what's so sad about this is there was two other siblings, man, that died before John. And they John by far is the worst. But they had a sister that drowned years ago when they were still in the Amish community. She got caught like in a rock and then swimming. And then there was another one that died of cancer. So to the far left, you got Stephen. Beside him is John, obviously. Then you got, I left out Paul. Beside John on his right, that's David. And then beside him, that's Paul. And then in the front, you got Sarah. And then you got Robert. And you got Betty. You got Katie. You got Sam. And you got Michael. And I'm guessing that's a spouse behind Betty and Robert. Now I probably know who it is, but my eyes just aren't working right now. Because we're looking at a small screen.
You're on a small screen.
But that's the Mast family right there, dude. Just beautiful, beautiful people. And I thank
Robert.
I'd like to say something to them too. I just cannot thank you guys enough for welcoming me with open arms. For all the support that you've gave me financially, as a friend. For all the faith that you've given to me to allow me to do what I'm doing right now. And if I've ever, it's just one of it sucks sometimes because you're representing, standing with John, and it's just like, I hope I get it right. And there's times that you beat yourself up and you second guess yourself. Did I do everything I could? Did I do that right? Oh, I'm sorry for saying that wrong, But they have every step of the way supported us, man, and it has meant the world to me. And I know that just because justice was found today, they're not done. They're not done. They will be friends for life. Actually, the one on the far right is a master hunter. Me and him got to talk more on this trip than we ever did. He's wanting me to come hunt some elk. I hope I get to.
All right.
But yeah.
So we got Robert there, and then his wife. Now that's who you got to speak with today, right after the verdict was read.
Yes, I mean Robert immediately after he got to hug the attorneys, and he was just breaking down, crying, guys.
Yeah,
very deserved, and so was Betty and Stephen. I mean, I think have taken it harder than anybody, and I tell you why, dude. I mean, they sat there and watched it.
They're right there.
Betty was right there, holding on to John and calling her parents on the phone, trying to let them speak to him. And that's who you hear on the 911 call. That was dude, just to tell you how salacious and malicious and outrageous some of those lies was. I remember in the criminal trial when they were talking about Betty at the scene and what she did, saying F this and F that, effing did. I'm like, you're effing crazy. Like, that was what was going through my head. Like, they don't talk like that. I knew that wasn't Betty. But they were painting this picture. And then the one thing you could tell Becky just kept on. Did John give Zane alcohol? Did he give Zane alcohol? Or he was an alcoholic. Dude, it reminded me of the Johnny Depp. Did you follow the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
Yeah.
There was one time they was asking Johnny, trying to pay him out to be an alcoholic. They was like, have you drank or did you drink that day? He was like, yes, I had a pint. And they was like, was it a big pint, a smaller pint? Or was it? He was like, it was a pint. And then they was like, yeah, but it was probably a mega pint. And he was like, mega pint? A pint's a pint.
Yeah.
There's no small pint. But that was, they had to paint this picture.
I use that on the
this
wife.
Big alcoholic. He was already on, owning up to everything he did. I mean, he went through all kinds of stuff he had done, but that's it. Character assassination, make you look as bad as I can. And John, there's no way, not no alcoholic. Betty is not no person going out there talking like that. I mean, dude, these type of people that we talk about here, they make very, very outrageous, outlandish lies. And the sad thing about them is sometimes I really think they believe them.
Oh, yeah.
I would
they
say
know
they
that
would
it's a
pass
lie
lie
when
detector.
it first comes out their mouth, but after that, because they've said it, they believe it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we got to see that in the closing arguments when Rebecca was, and she went wounded kitten, but, I'm a survivor, I'm a this and all the typical abuse nonsense and stuff. And she believed, I think she firmly believes it. I mean, it didn't happen, but she believes it. And that's just her story.
Well, even Jim in his closing argument says it doesn't matter. I still believe that. Even everything that he saw for 3 days, and he still believes it.
I was waiting for Jim to go, damn, I screwed up. Yeah, he was innocent. I mean,
no, dude, there is nothing you could do that was going to change the mind. Look, there was several times they investigated it numerous times, and every time they said
zero.
There was nothing there. And John went, but what makes me think of is, what if it would have been a different person that was just as innocent as John, but didn't go through all those hoops or didn't have the resources to do it? John really did. John was the superstar in this one. He did everything, documented everything the right way. And if he had not done it, we wouldn't be able to tell the story that we are now.
Right. Well, you got Danielle who came.
Everybody. Say goodbye to my man. This will be the last time I get to see him before I take off.
Yeah.
I'll see you again soon, though.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon.
And
all right. Bro hug. You guys
Since
gonna do a bro
behind
hug?
the scenes, my daughter's really helped us for the last 3 days.
I'm gonna stay with you guys.
So
I don't know. You want to be on camera? No.
Okay.
She's like, nah.
Yeah. All right,
Good seeing you, David. Safe trips.
All right, see you guys. All
All
right.
Okay, I am going to throw a little bit of tea. Did you love the very end, the objection to the Christmas tree? That was a very interesting argument. I don't know if anyone else remembers that.
You know what? Let me do this, though. I'll say this. As bad as they did at times, she did better representing herself than I thought she would.
Okay.
I'm not saying it was good.
We'll agree to
I
disagree.
never said it was good. I just said she did a better job than I thought she would.
Yeah, I mean, outside of certain things, there were a couple that I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, but I mean, they were able to follow along, I guess, with parts of it. But again, the part when they had both objected to the Christmas tree, that was like, oh my God, I cannot believe you're
reaching, dude. What else did she have? And then by the time Kevin put those couple of objections there, in her closing argument,
the only one.
they took everything. And look, dude, really, like I said, the attorneys knocked it out of the park. I guess It was probably one of those things. I'm going to let her talk because when she talks, she's kind of telling who she is anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But there were several times that, I mean, I guess they could have objected even more because when she was supposed to be questioning, she would make statements. She would make statements and plant seeds of doubt and then try to hurry up with a question mark at the end, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what
it was pretty obvious. We have to paint him as a sexual monster. That's what she's always done.
Right.
That's what she's always done. And unfortunately, Dwayne, it's always worked until
the silver bullet.
Today, until this week, it always worked. You didn't get away with it this time, sweetheart.
No, she did not. She'll keep saying it. And that's why this case is so important, because most of the time, silver bullet wins. We got to see it.
It won for many years. It's won for 8 years until now.
Yeah. I mean, it's been
a
big
but
thing.
Unfortunately, Dwayne, the silver bullet isn't gone. There's
still
going to be people, no matter what comes out, there's still going to be people that believe it.
Right. Well, and here's, every woman needs to be pissed off, because Brandy and I were sitting there watching it, and, she has talked about this, so I'm comfortable saying it. She was a victim of abuse in her first marriage. And, she was getting mad for a number of reasons, but she was getting mad that Rebecca was doing this canard about abuse, because then it takes away from people like my wife that, had went through an amount of abuse, documented, and then people don't believe her because of people like Rebecca. Every woman needs to be mad at Rebecca for doing this.
You're the reason why when real abuse happens, no one believes you.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you another. So let's get into the details further. This would be something the jury didn't know, but I can give you the truth behind it. So there was that incident at the Basil's restaurant where she claimed that John physically assaulted her. He was trying to, like, hey, what are you doing? And she made it sound like he yanked her arm out of socket, And when it went to court, he had a video to show. He was going to show him, like, hey, look for yourself, and then you can decide, rather than her sit there and tell you her story or me sit there and tell you my story, just watch it. And they said they didn't have the apparatus to play it with that day, so they wasn't going to allow it. Now, this time, John wasn't being able to see his kids, and this was before the divorce. Mm-hmm. So John weighed out the pros and the cons, and he thought, if I just go ahead and plead guilty to it, it's over, and I can see my kids, and we're done with it.
Right.
So he pled guilty. He had the tape to show his innocence. They kept blocking him. So he just said, okay, I'll plead guilty. I want to see my kids.
Right.
Well, that's not what happened. Just or a month or two later, that's when she would start filing sexual allegations. It was one of the kids first, and then the next month there was another one. That was to keep him from seeing his kids. Now, later on, it goes to family court, and there was a different judge that said, you know what? I'll allow those tapes. I want to see it. Even though John had pled guilty to it, he said, I'll see those tapes. They watched the tapes, saw John didn't do what she said he did, exactly like John said it went, and he was exonerated.
Yeah.
But the system allowed a father to plead guilty to something that he did not do.
Right.
And he did it just so he could see his kids.
Right.
Think about that. The system failed John in so many ways, dude. Yeah. And that's why I say this case is the movement. This case should be the poster child for these issues, because anything that a dad can go through outside of paternity fraud that we know of was in this case.
Yeah. I know.
I had to throw that out there, outside that we know of. I don't know if he did that or not, but that was the only thing that I can really think of that this case didn't have, was paternity fraud.
I don't think so. Anyway, moving along.
I think Becky's way smaller.
I'm sorry?
It's to me though, dude, it is good to be able to gloat a little bit in it. But then when you sit down and you think about it, we've been waiting so long for justice. So this moment is deserved. But those kids, man, those kids, it's
yeah. Well, this is going to be a dangerous time. I mean, she is just
don't.
I think where you guys, where everybody is like,
I don't mean that in a bad. I know absolutely what you're saying. I just don't want to speak anything into existence.
Yeah. Okay.
I just
want to.
I got you, dude. It's just, man, I want to see those kids. Dude, I know as an outsider that 5 years ago, I didn't know who this family was outside of John. And he was a light in my life once he came. And I look back at the comments. Remember how I said you got these guys that they'll talk to you 5 or 6 hours and try to tell you all the details in their case? That wasn't John. When I heard from him, he was trying to provide words of encouragement. But he was a light in my life. But after he got killed and then I met the Mast family, I know the love and support and loyalty and commitment that family has had for me as a non-family member. Dude, it even came to a point, I didn't tell them this. If any of them are listening, I mean, this is dead serious. When the jurors came out, I had a couple of juries said, "God bless your family," and it was like, now how are you related? And as one of the siblings, they thought I was one of the kids. And I was like, no, I'm not related. I was the podcast that John had came on and had to explain the whole thing. But I know how they loved me as an outsider and not a member of the family. I feel like a member of the family. And I bring that up because the love that family could give to those kids, dude, that they're missing out on and that they have been missing out on. They haven't been allowed to see that family. The love that family would give to those kids. And unfortunately, 5 years after their dad's death, one of the things people don't think of is how would those kids act? It might not be a pretty reunion, Dwayne.
No, it's gonna be a lot of reunification, a lot of therapy. It's going to be a tough thing. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel the worst for the kids because they saw their dad murdered by another family member.
Was that the video of John, his last interview?
It's pulled up as part of. I had as a short thing. I can find it and pull it up there.
Okay, because I was gonna say, if you don't mind, play that in the background while I can go use the bathroom. But I would love for John to be able to tell his story in this moment. I just put it on YouTube yesterday. I put it on my Facebook too. Just put John Mast final interview, and it would be good for him to be heard today.
You know what? That's a good call. Let's see if I can do it with. Let me find that video real quick and push it out. You do a lot of posting.
Oh, Jesus. You're asking me about it. A lot of today, this whole week, I've been having to go to my page and delete all the posts so I can clear out the algorithm. Oh, dude. So I am let's play that, and then I'll do about maybe 10 more minutes on here, because you'll know how big of a thing this is for me, Dwayne. Everybody in the local area has said we have one of the best pizza places you're ever going to find.
Oh, God, it's over.
I leave tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll be back.
Right.
I've got to try this place. It's called Fazari's, and it closes in less than an hour. So, yeah.
All right, let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
But you know what? I can actually look at something. Todd Ashley, those poor children have never seen what true love looks like. They only know being an obedient. I'm scrolling through the comments now.
Yeah, let me see. Let me get this video.
What was it? I saw a question.
I'm going to edit this part out.
Yep.
There you go. I'm going to mute myself and run to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. For everybody else, this is the last interview that Eric had with John Mast about 2 months before he was murdered. While Eric takes a bio break, we're going to go ahead and play this and just watch and drink it in.
Edit this part out. I'm going to have that on there, but I appreciate you coming on, man. It's going to be a bad time of year. This time last year, it got really bad, like the false allegations and stuff that was going on. So
absolutely
going to try to make this video for somebody out there that's struggling through it. Are you getting to see your kids at all?
So I have a court order saying that I have unlimited access to them through Zoom, video, telephone. But it's 6 months and she has not allowed it. And we had some other court events. And this order is from coronavirus. So the in-person visits, she's exploited the coronavirus to no extent, or to a pretty hefty extent there. So no, I haven't gotten to see my kids in 2.5 months. I did see them some over the summer. I think there's a final order coming up where things will get better.
COVID-19 was the biggest present an alienator could have ever received.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Even like the gift. I'll tell you this one more thing. I'm laughing about it now because I have friends around me and I'm happy in my life, but I would give them, during some of my visits over the spring and summer, I'd give them some gifts. Kids couldn't receive them. They either threw them away, or when they did see something they kind of liked, it was from China. So even then they couldn't receive some of those gifts because of COVID, and possibly a germ would be on there from China.
Gotten 10 phone calls just last night from my kids' school telling me not to do Thanksgiving.
Wow.
They don't even want you to celebrate the holidays, man.
Yeah, it's sad, and I just think there's ways around that. But thanks for all you do, Eric. I really appreciate it. You're making a huge impact.
Well, brother, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get a couple more of these together. I'll edit it and have it up tomorrow. And good thing about stuff like this, even though I didn't say your full name, you didn't say your kid's name, you can always show this to your kids. I have to work around it. Some of these guys want to come in here and tell all their details about their case. That can get them in trouble. It can get us in trouble, and it's not really smart for them to do it. But
at this point, thanks, Eric, for being respectful there. But at this point, I'm just not concerned about it. I mean, my case it's been a nightmare and really a joke, and it's a shame that our society and our system of government is like this. It's really, really bad. My kids are, especially my son, is really, he's a broken boy, and it really bothers me.
Are you doing any advocacy work or volunteering for any of the organizations right now?
As much as I can. If anything, I do something for you. And I'm still kind of in the thick of it, going towards the end of things, I think.
Right.
But at some point, I sure don't want to forget what I've been through. I sure don't want to lose that motivation, because on one side of me, I'm very angry. I'm so angry, not necessarily outwardly or in a bad way, but I'm really motivated to really make a difference at some point, to possibly run for office, or at the least do some pretty good advocacy work.
It's what we need, man. I'll be honest with you, though. When you get into the politics, I hate politics. I just started going and meeting with these guys earlier this year. They don't care. You mentioned Title 4D to them, and they think that they're going to lose money. It's out.
I had a meeting. Yeah, I agree with that. I had a meeting with just a local state representative a year ago, and he wants change, maybe, but maybe he just let on like that. But he said as soon as we start touching that, even at the state level, there's no change coming at all, is basically what he said.
That's it, man.
unmute there. So that was what we have is John Mast's last interview with Eric on Dad Talk Today, and it was Thanksgiving, so it was a few months before that fateful day in that parking lot. It's something to see that and to listen to him talk about how he, of course, misses his kids. He's wanting change. He's wanting to fight to be, that change out there for not only for his family, but for every other family. And that should be something that everybody, we've all been through the system in one way or the other. This should give everybody reason to say, you know what, let's do this for John. Let's do it for myself. Let's do it for the movement, and bring these kids home and have these kids have their parents in their life, as opposed to all the stuff that's going on. I mean, John gave his life for that to happen. I mean, we did have a big win. I say we, it was them, a big win. It's not going to bring John back.
Yeah, so I just had some locals that showed up.
Oh,
like ecstatic,
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I had to walk off. They came to see me, and just seeing the look on their faces, the win. It's so sad because I'm so used to seeing the parents, and I'm like, I know we're trying, we're doing what we can, but to see everybody, so yeah. Not used to it, man.
Yeah, it's a rare win for this group.
Oh man, I wish John was here to see it.
Yeah.
But when I keep talking about we got to start doing different stuff in family court, and now politicians aren't the answer. I mean, I think the very last thing in that interview is me and John talking about the politicians, being involved and not really, So that was when I was already really involved in politics at that point, but I had kind of started catching on.
To feel
I'm going to the machine, asking them to fix the machine. It's like, you ever go to McDonald's and their ice cream machine is broken?
Eternally.
It's because they are all contracted by this one company. And if that ice cream machine breaks, they have to use that company to fix it. Do you think that company doing those repairs wants that ice cream machine to work all the time?
Why not?
So maybe we can start putting family court and ride it on the McDonald's ice cream machine. I don't know, man. It's a great time to be an advocate. The truth is, though, tomorrow is another day, and we'll start doing podcasts, Dwayne, and begging people to like, share, subscribe, and that is my big fear. And I'll get an opportunity. Hey, Eric, I would like you to come and cover this, and then I'll look at my banking account and I can't do it. And I don't want that to keep happening, man.
That is my big fear that I know is going to happen, is that everyone's all excited. John Mast been vindicated.
Because this was always happened. It's what's always happened. And the next time my dad gets killed or I put out an article, everybody shows up. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
This is going to change.
So I know you're there.
Yeah.
We don't want that to be happening. I want that involvement, that fire that you're feeling right now. It does not have to fizzle out later on tonight. It doesn't have to fizzle out tomorrow.
Right.
Get in here, get involved. I know you got lives. I know you got things going on. But if you truly want this cause to go where it can go, then get involved. And if you do your little bit, and the next person does their little bit, the next person does a little bit, because nobody can just do it all the time. Nobody, not even me. Right. We cannot do it all the time. But if everybody does that little bit, when you see it add up how far that little bit can go when everybody gets involved, dude, we can do this thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have never, in our behind the scenes talks, Dwayne, that we have quite often when we have our gripes and grunts about wanting to get this thing to take off.
Yeah.
I could honestly, I know what to do now. I know what to do. I did go across the country and do all that other stuff. And I learned a lot during that time. I know, and I feel more confident than ever. I know what to do to get it there. And that's the only thing holding us back. If we can get our guys to organize and get the resources, we can give these bastards a black eye like they've never had before. And you can have more days like you saw today.
Yeah.
Would you like to get these wins more often? It can happen. There's one thing holding us back. And the reason I know it can happen is I only get involved in cases where I know what the truth is. Okay. Yeah. And if we go to those cases where we know what the truth is and we present that truth and we give those stories and we present it in a way that society expects it to be presented today, there is a certain way these stories have to be done to get it out there the way it needs to be. And unfortunately, it's not a podcast. We just had a major win in this community. Look how many people are watching. I'm glad I got an audience. That's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough. But I know how to reach that audience that it needs to. It's just, I'm gonna be repeating myself. I don't want to go through with that. And the reason I keep repeating myself and going back to that, guys, is again, I know in the next couple of days I got to go work on other things, and this is where my heart is.
Right. Yeah.
Like, please don't make me have to go. Please. I don't want to leave, but I got to.
And that's a worthy thing that you're doing. I mean, the thing you're going to is a very worthy thing. Yeah.
I mean, I want to do that. I do. I love that family.
Yeah.
I love that family, and I want to be able to help them, and I want to make sure they're taken care of and that they don't get taken advantage of.
My whole thing is the fire that I don't see in so many people. Like, I mean, people may or may not know my situation. I have zero reason at this point to be involved with any of this. I should be enjoying my golden years. My kids are out. I have 100% custody of my children. I'm owed child support. I have zero reason to be involved with this, but it made such a moral mark on me that this has got to be fixed.
Even though, like, I got my issues, Dwayne, there's zero reason for me to be involved in it too. I mean, I've got an issue that I would like to see fixed. At the same time, me being a voice and speaking out against that system, is it going to do me any favors if I ever get that chance to go in there? No. Any mistake that I made is going to be amplified times 10.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the preacher that they found out farted, Everybody else farts, but when the preacher does it, everybody is going to say it smelled 10 times worse and laugh at it. And, they're going to judge it at a different level. Any mistake I make is going to be on a bigger level. Nobody has to be in this. But cases like John's, they need people in there rolling that media. I honestly think it could have been the deciding factor in this case. And
you look at all things being equal,
alternative media went a long way, man.
I wonder how many people, because you look at last time and this time, they had the last one, they had this one. The media was not able to spin it their way.
Well, I can tell you one thing that was different. The last time there was more media involved. The last time there was way more people watching too, because it was about him shooting. And that sucks because this is when they should have been watching. And so I got a big job in making sure that those people that think they saw what happened last time need to see what happened this time. It'll be interesting to see when the new articles come out.
Yeah.
What was we just talking about, dude? I went blank.
Just, being involved and getting that fire in people to keep going on, and what was different last time versus this time.
Right. Okay, now I know. Thank you. You might have to do that again.
You're getting loose. Think about pizza.
Where I am, little sleep. I haven't ate. What was different is there was more media involved, but when we would go to the page and stand with John and try to get out the real story, there was a lot of people that just bought the BS narrative, the hero and the pedo, and you would see it this time, like seeing that article and then watching everybody come in my support. I'm like, what just happened?
That is weird.
It was like, really? That's nice for a change.
Yeah.
But all I did was give him my heart. I'm like, dude, I came all the way from the other side of the country, presented the case in a way nobody else did. I mean, I thought about it at times when I was down in the comments and I was talking to my guys. I'm like, should I be providing commentary? Maybe I should just present the case and not give commentary. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm here for my voice. I'm here for those moms and stuff out there that's got sons that are going through that. I wanted to be able to celebrate this win and be right there, because the truth is, I'm just one of you guys. I'm just more vocal. I'm more vocal, and I have that middle finger attitude. Like, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it. You're not going to do this to me. And you know what? You messed with the wrong dad. I'm the one that's going to come out there, and I want to see Goliath fall. So, but yeah, I'm not anything other than that. But we put the case out there. I wanted to interact with them. And it did. It had a different feeling altogether. I had a sense of calm going into this. I told the family that before I even got here. You can ask any of them. You can ask Mark Escobar, David, my wife. I was like, there's just a feeling coming into it that that last time, oh, dude, it was so tense. And you're just like biting your nails. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Right. It's just you were doing the unexpected. Once we got into this trial and I heard that they was getting to present the silver bullet and the investigations that happened, it was a sense of peace, because I knew John had did his homework. The only thing I was worried about at that point is just making sure that the attorneys got out everything that John did, because that vindicates him. John could vindicate himself. He just needed his story told. And over the years, it's really hurt when people will ask questions about the case and I know the answer. And I know that you're wanting to know the answer. Yeah. There's been many of those tonight and I just can't say it. All right. So seeing other people be able to finally answer some of those questions was a relief, but it definitely just had a different feeling altogether. Looking at the jury, everyone in the jury, dude, with a pen was just sitting forward like, very different, yeah. They were, I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened. Last time, it looked like they could have fell asleep. Now I'm going to tell you, the look of that jury last time, there were several people that, if they had a cartoon character, it would be Yosemite Sam. I was like, there was something about it, just had a different feeling, bro. Something, yeah. Different feeling. But the secret, a few of the secret weapons came out, and they're not secret weapons. It was like, bring the people that met with John and that was involved in the case, because they will tell you themselves. There's other parts in this, though. When I was doing this and finding out, there was one supervised visitation center that John went to that treated him like a straight up, you know what, pedo. Really? Oh, yeah, dude, because she had made the allegations. He drove all the way from Williston to come down here to see the kids, 13 hours. First thing that happened when he got there, the kids walked in, ran up and gave John a hug, and they locked the place down right then. They was like, you're not allowed to hug your kids. You're in, evil. Yeah, because of what you've been accused of. You got to leave right now. And John said, I'm not leaving. I just drove 13 hours to be here. Yeah. My daughter ran up and gave me a hug. What was I supposed to do? Push her away? And yeah, that was his first and only visit with that place. And they literally treated him like scum after that, dude. How many days? Called the cops on him, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So, yeah. Could you imagine what that must have felt like for him? He drove all the way here and paid for them to treat him that way. Just what you saw during the case, the amount of crap this guy ate dealing with that. I mean, because he had times where the kids, would say this or do that, and he just smiled and just kept on, just kept loving the kids. I tell you right now, and I do a lot of stuff a lot of other fathers wouldn't do when it comes to John and the crow that he ate. Just to be there, dude, I couldn't have done it. Yeah. I literally couldn't have done it. I mean, he took more than any dad should be able to take. There was other stuff, now that Ashlyn is not doing, she's not doing supervised visitation custody anymore. This is a case that sticks with her heart. I need to bring her on the program, and maybe if I get the blessings, you can find out just a little bit more of what John went through trying to be a dad. Because trying to visit with alienated children is not the easiest. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, you're in a weird environment.
And I wouldn't have been able to take it as a father. As much as I love my kids and as much as I'd want to be with them, I wouldn't be able to take it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for about 3 hours. I'm surprised everyone's there. And Mia has
questions. Any last minute questions?
Yeah, well, actually, Mia has one. Hey, you're going to miss out on your pizza. It's not more of a question, but a statement.
I know it. And out here, if you miss it, you don't get much. There's not, dude, you would have had to see that burger today. Oh, my God.
I did.
I
didn't pop it up there.
Thank you to that juror. And hopefully the other jurors, they were emotionally exhausted after this week, too. Because I'm exhausted too, but I was like, hey, when you want to interview, I would have took them right then. That's the dad talk way, bro. I'm out here and I'm not coming back unless I have to. So I was like, let's go right now. But I was like, let me see my schedule and everything. So, but they'll be coming on, and you could tell they was like, my biggest thing is I want to make sure the kids are safe. And this is going on far too much, and it's time for it to end. But I don't know if you paid attention. I don't think we covered this. Did you realize who got the brunt of that decision?
I was trying to do the math. It was pretty decent.
Well, I'm saying between Becky and Jim.
Yeah, I don't know who got more, but the numbers were.
You don't know who got no. You heard who got found yes on everything, and there was one that got no on a couple things because the other one got the blame.
Right.
Becky.
Yeah, Becky. Oh, yeah.
Oh, her.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty obvious that they think she was the mastermind behind this. And can I finally say, oh, my God. I've been waiting so long to do this. And now that it's been in court.
You're happy, Dan.
I can do this. You ready? I think she was the one behind it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that feels good. I believe I'm right there with the jury.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to say that, but I believe 100% she was behind it too. Because how else would Jim have that narrative?
Yeah. Oh, it was so obvious.
So what they say, so yes, the jury saw through what? The jury
saw through it all, you think?
I know they did. I talked to them. They didn't just leave. Like I said last time, those jurors wouldn't even look at us. And I hope those jurors, dude, we would have treated those jurors so good and so respectful. They knew what they did was wrong. And they tried to just chalk it up to this small town justice, grandfather's a hero BS. They knew they made the wrong decisions based on the evidence. They knew it, Dwayne. You had a video of him saying premeditated, and that was what proved first degree. Right. We met the burden of proof needed to give him first degree murder, and you gave him manslaughter. That was nothing but him getting it wrong. These jurors, man, they stayed around. There was some, there were a few that started crying, literally started crying and said, God bless you and everything that you put up with. They was like, no family should have to put up with what you put up with. The Mast family could not have been treated better at all, dude. They waited at the door at the courthouse on the way out. We didn't badger the jurors or anything.
That's crazy.
I told them, I'm like, sit back, let me do it. And as they came out, I'm like, the family would like to speak to you if possible. If not, I know it's been a long week. They all went over there, shook hands, hugged, and there was one, dude, she was just so distraught. She was crying. She was like, I'm so worried about those kids. But she was like, you guys, I'm so, so sorry what you've been through. And I was like, it was such a good feeling to see them, not just John be vindicated, but to see the family uplifted and thanked for their battle and their fight and their sorrow, you know.
Well, one person made a comment. I don't know here. This should be interesting. He should request an interview with Jim. He'd pay to see it.
You know, I had said at one point in time I would interview both of them. And you get nothing for them.
Hey, you'll plead the fifth.
You know, but here's the thing, dude. Like the Mast family, seeing how they offered that forgiveness. And dude, like I said, better person than me. But I do believe in second chances. And I do, even though people mess up, and some people mess up more than others. And I do believe he was a pawn. I 100% believe he was a pawn. I 100% believe Joe Biden was a pawn. Don't get me going there. I do believe that people can be used for what others want. But just seeing the attitude, doesn't seem like he's ever going to budge on it. I mean, to his family, I would say, like, you allowed him to be disrespected after he went to that length to do what he did, thinking he was saving. I mean, if you can't see the level of manipulation that's went on in that family, Jesus. And you know what? If that's what you've known and what you've been raised in, you probably don't see it. I can tell you, to normal people on the outside that knows what a healthy family is supposed to look like, that's just not good, man. Not good. And I'm going to tell you, even with John's ex, I still think there was a ringleader over her.
This was Mia's comment. Rebecca threw her own elderly father under the bus. That was like,
wow. I guess it's like, you know, he's got nothing to lose. Hey, he was the fix-it man. She had a problem. He was trying to fix it. But I still say,
I just think she's
there was someone else in that courtroom that was there that week that I think knows more too, or was more involvement.
Yeah, I mean, the things I tie in, because I look at her as a manipulator, and she's, you know, has that, I don't want to say narcissistic, psychopath, whatever, but like when her father was no longer useful to her, she basically just tossed him aside. Like when you confirm that after the verdict was read, and she realized that her daddy wasn't going to bail her out, she couldn't use him anymore. She was like, I want nothing to do with you.
I'm just going to be honest with you. There was a word that came to mind when there, and again, excuse my language, dumbass. I'm like, you're sitting here hearing you being called a convict, your daughter saying she wants to join in on the family to sue you too. Literally just sat there and took a big old stinky dump all over you, and you're still defending her. There was one time, you know, that everybody was out and he came back in, and every time he would be like, oh, this hurts so bad, just seeing her, how much pain she's in and what she's going through and everything. I'm like, this guy, seriously, like, it's the definition of a simp, dude. I mean, these guys, this is why you're supposed to be the leader in your household, guys, because if you get one of these twisted women and they get in there and you see those red flags and you don't pull out, you will become a puppet. I believe Jim is a puppet. I don't think he ever knew anything but to be a puppet.
Yeah. I know. I mean, there's so many dynamics in there. A psychologist would have a field day breaking all of that down. I mean,
that's crazy.
He was a puppet too. I mean, was there anything that we didn't see on camera that, you know, noteworthy? I mean, just I know we talked about, you know, the fact that he wasn't in shackles. That they allowed him just to roam around. I did think it was funny that he conveniently either, you know, he'd use his cane when it would benefit him, and then he didn't use it when it, you know, when he forgot, you know, when he was having to. All right. So for Chris, I will offer a warning or blur it out.
Don't use those. Yeah, I'm just like, No biggie. That word probably won't go over so well here.
Which word?
The first one he used.
The
Ten Commandment thing. It's no biggie. I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like that.
Yeah, especially the folks that'll be watching and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Keep it. We want to keep it.
Name in vain.
Yeah, that's a biggie. You know, it's all good. You know, yeah. But there was there's a lot there. But I know you want to get to eating pizza and finally getting a chance to relax and all that stuff. Any closing?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have time. If not, I'll go get something else. Yeah, I didn't mean anything big by it, but I know some people take a lot of offense to that.
The folks that will end up watching that, or some of the folks who will end up watching it, that is kind of respectful to the Mast family. I mean, it's just
Anyway, so guys, enjoy the win. I think what would be good at this point, I'll be coming back with the jurors. To anybody that's tuned into this case, the next time we go live, show up. Please don't wait for another.
Share,
I don't know if I'll make it. They close at 9. It's 8:45, so wah. But guys, one more time, if you'd like to support our travels, Cash App, Venmo, Dad Talk Today, no spaces, PayPal, localproductions@yahoo.com. That's with an S at the end. Thank you so much for all of those that did. I'll be headed out in the morning, and I won't get home until about 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I get to see my wife and my kids and my dog. It'll be worth it. And this time I come home bearing good news. It's going to be a celebration.
Yeah.
Last time I think I just like moped around in the bed. You know, it's like,
I remember that last one.
I don't want to get up. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to talk about it. It was just a good day. Just a good day, dude. Good week. It was good to see the advocates. I mean, dude, when I got that break, I was so far beyond needing to take a break. By the time I finally did it with doing all those murder cases and like with the kids and stuff, I didn't realize how much time had passed. I started going through some of the pictures and stuff, and I was like, the last time I did anything was 2 years ago? I thought it was just like 6 months ago. But it was that bad. So being able to see these guys again after being so long, but it was like no time had ever passed.
Yeah.
Dude, we got right back in there and did what Dad Talk has always done. You know, it was a good feeling to see them and a good note to end on. I can go back to Georgia happy. Will do. I might not have should have put that this morning. You guys have no idea how bad my morning was. That's it. So it started off finding out my wife's uncle had passed away. He was 84. He had gotten a really bad accident a couple months ago. He liked to go boating, and he was tying up his boat, and at one point he went to drift off, cut all 4 of his fingers off.
Oh.
Yeah, that was just earlier this year. And so, but anyway, it started with that. Then, because I had to stay an extra day and I didn't have enough clothes, I went and washed my clothes last night, and I was so tired. My head kept bobbing, so I just threw it in there, and I was just waiting for the washer to get done so I could throw them in the dryer and go to bed, and I'd get to them in the morning. When I went to the dryer this morning, when I first opened it, there was a $20 bill laying there. And I was like, it's my lucky day, you know? And then I see like $5, and then I start seeing shreds of paper everywhere. And I'm like, what is this? Then I see my license. Then I see my credit card, and I'm like, I washed and dried my wallet, dude. My social security card, all kinds of private stuff is gone.
Shit.
All my business receipts, everything is just shattered. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I woke up 2 hours late because my alarm didn't go off. Wife's uncle. Then I do that with my wallet. And then it was getting time to get to the courthouse. And it's the most important day. So I was like, I got to have my coffee because it takes me a while to wake up. I spilled the whole pot of coffee all over the counter, all over the floor, all over the cabinets. And I'm like, what is going on today?
Yeah.
And then I think there was a few other things. Then I get to the courthouse And the sound that's been working perfect all week,
Yep.
none of the equipment would work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Like,
somebody has
yeah.
put a curse on me, you know. So it didn't start off the greatest day, but we messed around with it. And then once we got the sound going, it seemed like, it's like, okay, we messed with you, but you persevered. We'll stop messing with you now. So it got a little bit better.
Let's see. I
Oh,
got
yeah. Oh, dude, if I don't have my coffee, like, dude, I need two things in the morning. I have to have a shower or a bath, and I got to have my coffee. And if I don't have it, don't expect me to do anything. Don't expect me. I am not I can't function without it. I hate to say that. It sounds like I'm addicted. Yes, I'm addicted to coffee.
Yeah.
So, but, dude, we all have those days. You know it when you wake up and one thing goes wrong. You're like, oh God, it's one of those days where everything I touch.
Yep.
The dude, you should have seen the washer and dryer. As soon as I opened it up, it looked like confetti shooting out.
God.
I'm like, what in the
Have
world?
fun getting that Social Security card back.
What's up?
Have fun getting that Social Security card back. Oh, jeez, that's gonna be
dude. That was the one from where I was born too. I've never had another one. It was in shreds anyway. It was in pretty pitiful shape, but.
And you can't laminate it because it's an official document.
Oh, no, that's so stupid. That is so stupid. Some of these laws that they make, I don't understand them. But all right, guys. Yep. Head out of here. I stand with John. We stood with John. We stood with John today. And do me a favor. I don't know what the next plan with this story is going to be because we all deserve a really big break. Everybody that did it. Just stick around because I'll probably need your help. I want to make sure that this story gets out to the locals that got presented with the wrong story. Mm-hmm. That's a very big deal to me. I don't know if that's in a new form of another documentary. I think another one is only right because if you watch the first two documentaries, the second one left on a cliffhanger and it left on the worst part. So if somebody that's new goes and watches those documentaries, they'll think they know the story of John. And the best part was today. so far, let me say the best part today was today. So, but when that happens, I'll need your support. Get any editors. Editors is like the biggest step. What we did today was really hard work, but 75% of filmmaking and documentaries and stuff is in the editing booth. And it will drive you crazy. I spent 3 months on part one. I did the editing myself. 3 months, 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning every day.
You just can't whip something up. That's what I get told all the time.
There was no off days, no breaks.
Yeah, just whip something up, whip it together.
No.
Do some movie magic. I get
dude. We're gonna have to leave out a lot of information on this one to make it within the right time frame because you don't want it to be too long. You don't want it to be too short. So it's gonna take a lot of work to find out how we want the flow of the film to be. Because if anything gets left out, it's got to be something that doesn't mess with the story.
Right.
You got to get the important and critical details. That's the joys of movie making, and as stressful as it is, I like it.
Yeah, we can cut out or speed up the I plead the fifth part. That'll take out a good 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. We got to get the truth out there. Guys, again, today wasn't about money. Even though you heard about millions of dollars, I doubt they will see anywhere near that. It was about vindicating John's name. Now that it's been vindicated, we want the people that participated in slandering it and that believed in the BS, we want to make sure they see it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure they know John was an innocent man. That means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to the family. And more than anything, it would mean a lot to John.
Yeah. I think for the Mast family and anyone who watches this, if we could get everybody to throw in I Stand With John on whatever social media you're watching on, just kind of flood the feed with I Stand With John, that would be great. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe on whatever social media you're watching us on so we can go ahead and continue bringing things to you.
That's it, man. But yeah, guys, I still have to clean the Airbnb because I got it for an extra day, and he has a family coming in bright and early, and I still got to pack. I still got to clean out that washer and dryer that I destroyed my wallet in. Take out trash, a lot of stuff, and I haven't ate yet. So I love you. It was nice sharing this moment with you. I hate to say goodbye because once I say goodbye, I don't know when I'll be saying hi next time. You know, I'm sure I'll be posting on social media, but it was nice to be back in the Dad Talk community this week, and definitely nice with what happened. So
definitely. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, and we will catch you on the flip side.
See you guys.